Tour 2 and Division 2 is slowly coming to a close. It is time for the final series until we end the regular time and head over to the tiebreakers on the next day. But we have one series to clean it all out. Welcome to the North American 2nd Division here with T-Panda and, of course, with Lizard as we are ready to dive in for the last big series to come. I mean, it is huge because it does tell a pretty big storyline of where these teams are potentially going to be placing themselves, because tomorrow's tiebreakers, anything can still happen. The whole setup is still open, Lizard.
Yeah, you talked about it quite a bit. I can't even believe just how open it still is, right? Like you mentioned that there are two possible scenarios, right?
Yeah, there's three potential scenarios moving in the air right now. Yeah.
Wait. When you say three, I thought we had.
We'll get to that.
Okay. I'll chill
we'll get to that in a bit. We'll chill out. We'll leave it for the audience to guess and sit, because we did play out some pretty big series on the last day of the North American DPC, where we had Tilted Boys go up against Ant and Oversight taking on Alpha. And this first series, well, this first game was pretty much a barn burner. Another NA team could figure out this game out pretty fast. It was a 28-minute win for them. And, there's not too many highlights about this game. Pretty solid execution. A lot of mistakes from Tilted Boys. There was the PL running in first. The double blink timers they had on the Centaur and the DK just didn't utilize those item timings and those items properly and just got stopped. It was pretty much a smashed game one. But as soon as we get to that game number two, it was a game that felt like it never ends.
Yeah, 100%. The second one was, 70 minutes or something. But overall, expected more from Tilted Boys throughout the season, not only from this game, right? From this series. Expected them to maybe even be the upper division after watching the first couple of series, but man, did they fall apart. Like these last couple of days, more than anything else. Like in these last couple of days, they just couldn't find their footing. For some reason, the mid lane just wasn't working. Ferte wasn't getting his heroes as well, I feel like. Not sure what happened. I haven't seen a team just go in shambles like they have in a really, really long time. But sometimes it happens, something doesn't click. You forget your identity as a team, and you start losing.
But there was a spark or a glimmer of hope, at least in game number two, because this one did not end fast. As you said, it was a 74-minute game. And you can see 20 minutes, they're pushing high ground. Then comes this, just above the 30-minute marker, Verte with this Phantom Lancer. We've been dreading it from the interviews. We've been hearing that it's a super strong hero, and this really showed why. Like, of course, they're getting team wiped here. It's like, oh man, they can't really get anything together here. The next highlight, we go 40 minutes forward in time, and there's so many events that happened in this game. They're like, Ant, they're winning the game. They're close to ending the game. Then they slowly start dropping the ball. They're like, okay, maybe Tilted Boys can still fight back a little bit. We go to 50 minutes. Tilted Boys could potentially still hold on, make this game even. They sneak a Roshan under the eyes of Ant. They just completely forget about the Roshan placement at that time. And there's like, oh, we're getting mega creeped at this point. Like, what the hell's happening this game? Into one good push where they forced the glyph earlier and then got the Ancient down in one single push. Game was over. It's like, all right, we were here, 40, 50 minutes ago already. But that was game two. It was wild.
Yeah, they had a fun little backdoor play there to force the glyph and then finish off the game afterwards. PL definitely looked like the bigger carry. And that was the game, right? Like, I don't know if you recall, during the draft, we were discussing the PL, and we did say something like, yeah, this is a really damn good PL game. Albeit they did lose all the early game. They did get mega creeped, but it didn't matter because eventually he just took over. This second series, Alpha versus Oversight, I guess it went pretty much how we expected, right?
To some extent, sure. Oversight, I think at the start we were like, Alpha should be the favorites, but Oversight, they're inconsistently consistent that they still have that surprise element. They felt like they've experimented this patch.
I was testing you
a lot
because it went.
You were definitely testing me because it was a completely different direction. Yeah.
Yeah, but interesting insight that we got from Alpha after this game, that they believed that they could take it, that they believed Alpha wasn't as, from oversight we got the insight that they thought Alpha isn't as strong as we give them credit, and they definitely didn't look that strong in this series, especially in the second game in which Meepo was picked. Alpha dominated with Meepo before. They talked about having mercy with Meepo, and that's why they aren't picking it. And they pick it again into a very similar lineup that isn't that strong into him. But if you don't play the tempo correctly, every Meepo lineup falls apart eventually. And that eventually in this match was, 25 minutes in?
Yep. This was waiting for that Meepo impact. Yep, he's having a pretty good game. But those rotations that they finally made the hero work with, they got 2 kills, maybe got a killing spree going from Meepo. All right, this is what we were kind of expecting. This hero is going to be strong. Then they take the 5v5 fights. Team wiped. Then 2 minutes onward, team wiped again, and it was just all over from there. But this part, Lizard, when we look at the leaderboards, now we can reveal the truth to the audience. So the 3 potential tiebreaker situations that are looming in the air, 2 of which have been confirmed, and a 3rd, which is still open, comes down to the series we have today. We have another NA team and C-Dub currently in a tie situation, and they will either play against each other's, or the cut will join them for places 3, 4, and 5. Then we have, if the cut loses, they will go to 5th, 6th, and 7th with Oversight and Tilted Boys. And of course, Sankin Gomez, if they lose, we play a $1,000 tiebreaker. If they win, they close out first place. So these are the 3 tiebreaker situations that are in the air right now. The wildest thing for the cut who's playing today, they could be all the way from 3rd to relegated from Division 2 completely. So you got to look at a win for them today. That's really the only thing that they're looking forward to.
Yeah, and because of that, perhaps they'll be more amped. 100% they'll be more amped, right? They'll be the ones pushing it for the win. Maybe SKG will be more chill, just picking their heroes, maybe just experimenting a little bit with the new patch, not being as strict about their game plan. Perhaps something that Alpha was doing versus Oversight as well. Maybe we'll see something similar in SKG versus the cut. But then again, SKG, for me, they look like a team that really wants to get as many wins as possible in Division 2, to be promoted with as much confidence as possible.
Yeah, and as you look at the schedule, the last game, as already mentioned and already talked about, Sankin Gomez versus the cut to clean out the official schedule for Division 2, and then we head over to the tiebreakers, as already painted out. It could be 2 series, it could be 3 series. We're going to have 1 guaranteed best of 3, and the other one's going to be a 3-team round robin. But do we get a 3rd, which is also going to be a best of 3? That is down for Sankin Gomez and the cut to decide today in our only series of the night. And matching up these 2 teams against each other's, well, Sankin Gomez coming in as the favorites. They're the team that was only beaten by Alpha 0-2, where Alpha just, straight up dominated Sankin Gomez. And they lost 1 map to Ant in the first series they played in Division 2. Everything else has been a win-win-win so far. Clean 2-0s on the board against Oversight, against C-Dub, against Tilted Boys, the forfeit win from Fart Studios. And they've looked solid, but if there's a template you can apply here, Lizard, Alpha beats Sankin Gomez, Oversight beats Alpha. Can Sankin Gomez then beat the cut, or is the cut also going to be stronger? Is Sankin Gomez the weakest link in this new patch?
I mean, I sincerely doubt that they'll be the weakest link in this patch. We'll see after the series, but I'm still heavily favoriting them. You can see average stats much lower, 28.7 versus 30.4. That's basically it. That's what makes me think that SKG, but no. Realistically, the way that they have been playing didn't at times look like a Division 2 team, and that's what impressed me so much. But I need to say this as well. They impressed me mostly by strategical movements on the map. It wasn't like individual skill. It was just like they were playing the game properly. And right now, there is no proper way. So actually, this new patch might hurt them the most.
A bit of fluke value, and the cut as well. The team that has been very competitive. They have 4 series that have gone 3 maps, and only the alpha loss was a 0-2. So every other series outside of that has been a 3-map best of 3 for the cut. So we know that they can either take game 1 or they can drop the first one and then see if they can still corral themselves back in the series, but they do manage to do it at some point of that series. Can they do it again against San King Gomez? Well, that's another thing to answer. I think maybe we have to look at the players, especially if we consider like the position 4s. We look at 9 and B-God. Like B-God, he had been from the start of this division on the old patch, massive kill numbers on the board. He's been averaging like a lot with the techies, with the Skywrath mages. He can go easily on a godlike spree, sub 10 minutes. And hence why he doesn't have a lot of assists. This is the guy that does the killing. And 9, more of that, can you say traditional pause 4 player? Is there such thing as a traditional pause 4 player?
I guess there is. I don't know what in what tradition, right? Because there are different traditional post 4 players. Traditional Earth Spirit and these go win position 4s. Traditional greedy position 4s. Depends how you define it, right? But yeah, like you said, these two are definitely very different. I would say that when it comes to the cut, it's more about the duo of supports, not necessarily only B-God, because of the heroes that Jubei plays as well. So they can mix things up. They can cook something up quite a bit, and I'm sure that they have been cooking in the last couple of days since the patch came out. Meanwhile, for San King Gomez, I think if you're SKG, you're probably just taking it a little bit easier with the new patch because you already know that you're promoted, so you can perhaps watch pro games, just spam your pubs. It's the pressure is off, basically, what I'm saying.
Well, there's no pressure for you as a viewer, at least, to take advantage of the Watch to Earn platform for potentially one of the last times here, at least during this division, as esportsbet.io with their campaign. All you need to do is log in and watch Dota to earn tokens, which are equivalent to 3 USD per hour. And you can use those tokens for, go and find out what you can actually use them for. But that promotion is still up and running. So esportsbet.io, the place to be to find that campaign offer for yourselves. But we are ready for the draft for the final series of the official Division 2, San King Gomez versus the Cut. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see a couple respect bans coming through. And that Skywrath, I'm looking directly at that Skywrath mage being one of them.
Yeah, he had some insane Skywrath games. So you ban it out, you make your life easier, but you do let the IO go through. Like this hero is, in everyone's opinion, really strong right now because of the massiveness of the map. So if you don't have an IO, like we've heard, who was it? I believe, was it Skyward yesterday that was talking about travels on Alchemist, right? Like you just need travels. It just feels like the map is way too big. And if you don't have travels, IO is always... he always comes in handy. So if you can combo him with some carries that work well with the Wisp, then you can make stuff happen across this big damn map. That's just, I don't know if you're are you playing a lot of pubs? The map is massive, by the way. When you're playing it, you just feel there's just so much space on it.
And it feels like there's constantly something that you need to be doing around the map. If you're not utilizing that, you're missing out on a lot of the action. And most importantly, for all of you people watching out there, literally one of the causes for why we're starting a bit late, 7.33B as a bit of a balance patch just dropped. Literally just dropped as we were about to start the game. So Twin Gates have an extra 1 second channel time, and Boots of Travel 2 getting nerfed by an extra 10-second cooldown because it was 30 seconds before. And when he talked about the Alchemist, that's around the time he gets his ulti off cooldown, pretty much. So your downtime is very low between you teleporting in, popping your ult, concoction, of course, to get that instant stun and appearing and showing up, and that map pressure. because the map is so big, an extra 10-second cooldown now added, it does hurt the item quite a lot.
Yeah, it does. I think the change on the twin gates is probably the biggest one, in my opinion. Not necessarily, like up there. They're all significant, but twin gates change is really, really damn big. It's just way too simple for a position 4 or 5 to go from one lane to another. I think maybe even another second will come eventually, because they made the map so big and then they added these twin gates, and now they're stating the twin gates are a bit too OP. But then why even, make the map bigger, and why put yeah, we're in a very interesting timeline here when it comes to Dota and the map.
Oh, yeah.
They're experimenting quite a lot. I personally do like it. I don't mind it at all. And it makes the game a little bit, not a little bit, it makes the game very, very different, especially the twin gates. I think it's like the main thing in the game right now.
And it is a bit of a nightmare for the developers too, because they're like, they have to keep watching what's going on right now. What are people reporting in the bug reports? Like, man, this thing is busted as hell. Is really the Twin Gates changes going to be that massive? Probably is for the time being, but might be something different later on. Maybe they put like a cooldown so you can't use it, like a debuff for activating the Twin Gate, something like that. You misclick it and you can't click it for another half a minute. Stuff like that can happen. But also, reflecting all this kind of stuff into the draft itself, the Cut, who are actually playing with a stand-in in their off lane, so no Italiano Gangstar. Was it Rojo or Soho? Rojo, most likely the guy to be playing this Doom, and they just pick his hero in the first phase. Pretty easy for the stand-in to just pick up his hero in the early start.
Yeah, make him suffer. He's the stand-in, just let him get countered. Make sure that everyone else on your team on your squad has a good lane, good game. I think it's a really big difficulty for the Cut now that Italiano Gangster isn't playing. I think he was one of the shining stars for them in most of their wins. The position 4 and position 3 probably for me in the Cut were just outstanding in a lot of games. But okay, they get 2 universal heroes, right? Is Io universal or is he still Strength?
Io?
Yeah, they get Grandpa. I know Grandma.
Io is universal.
Okay, so 3 universal heroes on the Cut. Doom is, I guess not, right? Is Doom universal as well?
Doom...
He's not.
I think Doom is still Strength. Yeah,
Okay.
Doom is still Strength, yeah.
So they actually have 3 universal heroes and a Doom into a Slark, by the way. Well, he's still...
You think that's a good thing?
I'm not sure. It's better than if you're Strength, I guess. Right? I suppose. I'm not sure. He's still stealing your stats. It still hurts quite a bit, even if... I think it might be even worse. Not sure.
It could be. Slark could be the ultimate answer to it too, but it benefits to some extent at least. What I'm really curious about here, which I'm also happy to see, is Mr. Porridge guy, the Warlock being picked up by Sankin Gomez. I'm always happy to see Mr. Porridge.
Well, you're just happy to see Mr. Porridge, that's it. Yeah, I mean, I love some...
After all this time where we haven't really seen Warlock in the last year, that he's suddenly getting some love since the start of, well, I mean, North American Division 1, TSM, and Whitemon. Like, he loves the hero. I think he was one of the only people to actually bring up the Warlock and showed how strong the hero can actually be with that upheaval damage.
Yeah, he definitely can be. If you combo him very well as well with the upheaval, there's just so many... There aren't so many, but there are some heroes that work well with upheaval on top of my mind. Something like a Pudge, right? Like we've seen it into that Brood. Pudge plus...
Oh yeah, the Warlock Pudge lane.
Warlock Pudge lane is just ridiculously strong. Even though Pudge perhaps not as picked as before any longer, the map is just way too big, too much farm on it. What's interesting to me is, considering the map and everything, Alchemist is still in the pool. I guess if you're the Cut, you're worried about Slark, so that's why you don't want to pick an Alch. And if you're Sankin Gomez, you don't want an Alch, and you've banned out most of these cores that are good versus Slark. You banned out Bloodseeker. Bristleback is an interesting one, but that's not really, I think, about the Slark matchup. It's more about Io plus Bristleback.
Yeah. And of course, the Scourge McDuck comfort.
Yeah.
You know, like they banned out the Techies, the Skywrath Mage, the Bristlebacks. These are all just directly targeted against the cut. Like, these are heroes they've had success with in the past.
Yeah, they had some really good Bristleback, even offlane games, right? I remember. They go with the Nursa ban in the end. Yeah, bans that perhaps aren't insanely strong against Sand King Gomez, but they're just banning out heroes that are good at the moment and heroes that the cut could utilize well with the Wisp. I'm thinking maybe a Luna, not great into Slark, obviously, but with an Io, you could just run them over early on. Is there something else? Like a Sven is bad versus Slark generally.
I'm just a bit curious about Sand King Gomez with that last phase. Like, shouldn't they have banned Ursa first? Because usually you pick Troll into an Ursa. If you ban the Troll, you're just like, well, now Ursa is actually a free hero and you have to ban it anyway. So
yeah, but they don't have a slot for Troll anyway, right? Like, they couldn't pick the Troll no matter what on Sand King Gomez, right?
But isn't Slark still decent against Troll?
I mean, it's kind of the same versus Troll and Ursa. I feel like you can. It's playable in both. By the way, like I'm not looking necessarily anymore at hero-to-hero matchups. I'm looking at like what hero feels broken at the moment, and for me, TA and Void Spirit at the moment look ridiculous.
Pretty high win rate heroes, yeah. I agree with you.
And they got both of them. Like TA for me, every single game she's just doing way too much. I don't know, way too much damage in the lane. Gets her farm way too easily. Has this stupid Aghanims later on in the game to move across the map if needed. Just looks like this is her patch. Not the best combo with Io though, that needs to be said.
And the final pick, of course, it is the man, the Sand King cometh. The final pick for Sand King Gomez. That show going to be bringing it up. So, you know, they've got their iconic, literally their team name hero being picked up. Does this spell a big dub?
Do you think they picked it just because it's Sand King Gomez? So they picked Sand King? Just to make sure, because they didn't
I think they need that one game where they have to pick it, right?
It's in their contract. Every league, you need to pick at least one Sand King. So far, I don't think they have. I don't think they played a single Sand King game. I might be wrong.
That is true.
Yeah.
But the hero looks really strong. The last game we saw the Sand King and the Caustic Finale damage when the Centaur died. That was, what, 22% max HP into damage? Holy hell, that was actually a huge nuke that the Caustic Finale does on heroes.
Yeah, he looks pretty damn strong at the moment. They needed some stuns, some front lines, so he brings all of that. They have to be careful when it comes to the way they play the lane, because you can still die to the TA plus, I don't know, if it's TA plus Snap, that can be a really strong lane. TA plus IO maybe not as potent when it comes to killing you. And one other thing that's really nice about Sand King is the Sand King plus Warlock. Like Fatal Bonds and Sand King, it was always one of those ridiculous combos that just destroys teamfights.
Who has... Okay, I will ask you about hero matchups just a little bit, despite the changes with the Twin Gates. Who has the better side lanes? Like, are we going to see Sand King Gomez potentially just roll 2 victories, and then it just comes down to the mid? Because there's the TA. TA is pretty strong, but TA also has some weaknesses. It has to get to that early level 3, level 4 before you can really push back your opponents.
Yeah, I do feel that Sand King Gomez has better lanes here. They have better lanes. They, on the side lanes, you have Warlock and Slark, most likely. Like into a Doom, Snap, like Slark should be able to do well. It's not a kill lane, because unless Upheaval is maxed, and then it might be even a kill lane. And on the other side, like you mentioned, Sand King and Hoodwink, I'm not sure. Like TA surprisingly wins all of the lanes that I'm watching right now, so... She might do that the same thing to this lane, but on paper, I feel like Hoodwink and Sand King should be the stronger duo.
They've got some stuns, they've got some good nukes coming out, so something you always got to be a bit cautious of. Breaking free refraction charges with the Sandstorm, the constant poke, pretty fast attack animations and attack speed on both of these heroes, so Scourge McDuck wants to play somewhat defensive in this lane. You know, get those early levels and then push your advantage. As he's going to be sitting with the IO most likely in that top lane. B-God also playing that Snapfire. Can they be deadly in the offlane or not? And the funny thing here is actually, well, the Snapfire getting caught by the entire Sand King Gomez lineup is definitely something he was not hoping to start this game with, because Lund's going to pick up first blood. But the fact that Sadman is going to be going into the offlane with that Doom and Void Spirit, the stand-in Rojo. How does this impact the team a little? Because I'm so used to seeing Sadman in the mid lane.
Maybe it's even easier for you to have mid laner as a stand-in, because as long as he plays the mid lane well, it's a solo lane. He can rotate afterwards. You know, on the side lanes, you kind of need to communicate. You need to understand each other a bit better. So, I'd still rather have a mid stand-in than an offlane stand-in.
Well, let's see what comes out of this game, because the Cut, they're playing for a pretty important, pretty sizable win if they can score that. Playing for third, fourth, or fifth if they win. If they lose, it's going to be fifth, sixth, or seventh. So you can go all the way from earning an extra $6,000 that you would potentially be getting now from fifth place to just getting kicked out of Division 2. And not seeing the Cut playing in Division 2 or in Division 1, I feel like that is pretty unheard of in the North American scene, because this is a team that you've kind of used to seeing since last year. If you've been watching DPC or the North American DPC since last year, the Cut has always been around.
Yeah. It's just a staple, right? Like you want to keep them. At the same time, if they aren't strong enough, they should be culled. Get the fresh blood in.
There is definitely a very hungry team against them. Sand King Gomez, we already said they're playing for pride on an extra $1,000. They could just lock it in here today. Wouldn't have to play that tiebreaker against Alpha. Get that little bit of extra prestige going into Division 1. I was hyped to see Sand King Gomez since the start. I was like, cool, this is the most fun name, I think, in Division 2. And then they actually also provide results. So I think I got everything I wanted out of this team during this Division 2. So I just want to see if they can pull off something fun, like, you know, crazy wombo combos, some different itemization type of things. You know, who knows? Just, I'll leave it for a surprise.
Yeah, like we watched Oversight yesterday, right? Like they mixed things up. They found completely different strategies, and it worked really damn well for them. Like they were inventing some new Dota with Boots of Travel 2 on their carry. I think some
Nyx assassin mids.
Yeah, Nyx mid as well. Bounty Nyx. Like Tucho, by the way, top lane is just he's CSing a lot, but they're not pressuring the TA and IO. Like they're missing a lot of their spells. So far they have been, at least. And because of that, the region war is still pretty good for the Cut, but Sand King he already has a Ring of Health. So I'm not sure, like, so far I expected maybe a little bit more from him in 9, but maybe from level 3. On the mid lane, Ember and Void Spirit is just Ember versus Void Spirit matchup, right? Like, in the last patch, you'd almost, well, not almost, you'd always rather have the Ember Spirit as your mid laner.
The only big difference maker here is the bottom lane. Doom going away with 10 last hits at the moment versus the 6 on Slark, and also pressuring him under the tower. Shido, he missed out on a couple last hits as the Doom was being annoying, forcing the creeps to hit a particular threshold that you can't get a last hit, and the tower's going to kill the creep.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. I really think that Slark and Warlock should be able to... At least Warlock should enable Slark to farm here much easier. But what was happening is Yambura was in the jungle fighting with B-God, and because of that, Slark was kind of left alone, so he wasn't really the one who was getting shadow worded as well. And damn, that's a very low Void Spirit on the mid lane. Slight of
He's not enjoying his time, but Scourge McDuck potentially falling in the top lane. Jubei trying to pump out as much healing as possible. It's going to be enough. 9 was right-clicking away, but not enough for a kill. Very close call there.
It's the dangerous level 3. Like from level 3, you have to be quite careful.
Oh, the Void Spirit again just being pressured in mid, and Lund just seems to find a super easy kill for himself. Doesn't have to do too much heavy lifting. Void Spirit also feeling a bit, you know, maybe a tad bit demoralized after that. Now Lund is up to 2 kills. Early Orb of Corrosion also picked up on the Ember, so he will dish out extra damage. But in the bot lane, Satman versus Shido. He got there to help out. Dark Pact already used, stun comes out, but a full Magic Wand heal. And also the Shadow Word, so Shido should be fine to stand his ground.
Yeah, I'm surprised he started running, seeing that Magic Wand. I was watching this and I was thinking, yeah, Shido's got this. He will just continue. He'll bait them. He's got a huge wand, yeah.
I was thinking he could have actually pounced into the snap and looked for a kill, but...
He's respecting them a bit too much. For his Lark gameplay, like the usual stuff that I see, he usually goes ham there. But okay, this time around, he values his life a little bit more. Perhaps because of the CS as well. Like the lane hasn't really been going that well for him. He has 14 CS versus 24 of Doom. So sometimes you just don't feel as strong considering how the lane is going.
Yep. And now they're going to get the combos out on Slark as well. Has to force the Dark Pact too, but he's already down a half HP. Upheaval slow onto the Doom and onto the Snapfire, doing a sizable amount of damage. That is 40 per second pretty much after the magic resistance.
Yeah, and Shido is like, can you please stop channeling that and killing creeps with it? Just give me the Shadow Word already.
Jubei. All right, it's just going to ward. That ward will be scouted out as well in a matter of moments. So they will see that rotation potentially kick in. But 9 has already moved towards bottom. Pounce available, but Doom, he also has an early Vanguard, so very tanky.
Yeah, that rotation, if it happened a little bit before the Vanguard, would have been good, but not right now. Right now, the Doom... You are playing into a Slark, so the Vanguard helps you, but it doesn't make you invincible. You can still die.
Only 2 kills in these first 6 minutes, but Sadman is going to get slowed up a heavily amount with this upheaval on top of him. Shido fighting him at the same time. They gank mids and find Rojo. Sadman will not even drop in the bottom lane either, so getting that mid kill, that is the Void Spirit. Down for the second time.
Yeah, Bigot did manage to snatch the rune, but Lone just being that level ahead, now 2 levels ahead, managed to just run down the Void Spirit. 9 also helped out with the bushwhack.
Just a quick TP into mid for the bottle refill too. Blood grenades are now actually stackable up to 3.
Okay.
But thankfully they nerfed the Bat Rider, because we were talking about it and I was actually tweeting about it too, that yep, you can go napalm and blood grenade, it works together. Go give it a try, and now it's nerfed.
Look at this little Slark role playing as he should, you know, little thief
mode Skyrim.
Little thief fish going in, snatching that rune. Yeah,
wants to get to that level 6. His lane has not been going really well.
He's now higher level than Doom. Like he's got more experience.
Balanced. Yeah, you got like 13 less CS. Oh, interesting cookie there from B-God.
It's just that that rune is so far away, and it's kind of annoying to go for it. They are rotating Io back on the bottom lane.
See what they can achieve. Sadman is not level 6 on Doom yet, so can't lock down the Slark.
I don't think this is a kill. Doom doesn't have boots. They are coming in now, yeah.
It's like Doom is tanky, but he's not ready to kill anyone.
Exactly, like there's no kill potential. You're tanky, you can farm, but that's it.
Bora wanting to farm this this pull, poke the Doom on the side. Very, that's some sticky porridge right there.
Very annoying. Slark is thinking about pouncing. He almost has level 6, but yeah, as you mentioned, Doom is very tanky. Like, he won't kill you, but you probably won't kill him as well.
Cancel in mid. So Rojo Astral step closer and pop the Remnant, and now Ember is completely out of mana.
Does have a bottle
no
still.
TP scroll.
Yeah.
Jubei in trouble in top, though. Ducho was trying to look for him. Burrow Strike is a complete miss, however. Jubei gets out. A couple of mistakes happening here and there.
Yep. Woodwing TPing bottom. through the twin gate, so maybe this is another attempt at Bloom's life.
There are two cores who are struggling a lot this game, and it's the Stark and the Void Spirit. Who do you think
Sand King
is
top lane.
impacted more about
Lucho.
that? Oh, can they actually kill him? Yeah, they have Dust. Trying to go for side blade connections. The Vanguard soaks up a lot of these hits. The trap slow. Okay, the Melt Strike's going to be enough. Bushwhack comes through from 9. But 3 seconds for another refraction, and Jubei just going to pump up those heals. Scourge McDuck's going to be all right.
Yeah, I feel that the rotations of Hoodwink towards the bot lane were not necessary that much. The chances of you killing that Doom are probably negligible. Like just staying top, playing against Io and TA, helping out your Sand King. Like he's the one that's going to pull you through the mid game. Him and Ember, obviously. Slark, just let that man feed, you know? Let him get doomed.
Let him feed.
Let him get doomed. It doesn't matter. He'll come back eventually. Just
one guy let him cook, the other guy let him feed.
Yep.
Looks like Sanking Gomez are slowly setting up for a push in the top lane. Scourge McDuck trying to keep them away. This is not the first time he's in this position. That he wants to stick around in the top lane, sitting under his dire tier 1 tower. Popping some traps to destroy the creep wave, and here we go. The initiation is there. Refraction is down. For another one in 3 seconds, but there's the TPs coming in. We've got Rojo joining in on the fight as well. Dutcho, very tanky though. Even this Void Spirit, the Universal Hero, is not going to be able to kill him right away, but 9's going to be dropping. Burrow Strike coming through, and the turnaround. Rojo's going to fall. Scourge McDuck maybe as well as Yanbura. He will get the Fatal Bonds to connect, and that is 2 cores for a support. And they're happy with that trade on the side of San King Gomez.
Yeah, they're super happy. It was actually funny how Void Spirit TP'd in. He TP's in right next to the Warlock and just moves past him. He's like, yeah, I'm not here for you, buddy. I have bigger fish to fry. He goes in and just gets punished together with the TA. Perfect 2 kills, like exactly who you'd want to be killing at this point. And it also opens up the tower. Just going for this Sand King was... yeah, maybe not the best play.
We've seen from time to time now that this Vanguard is really paying off for Dutcho. He's only died once in this lane, and TA, we know that this hero packs a big punch. That Vanguard has really mitigated all that damage.
Isn't this Aghanim on Sand King kind of busted? It's just like it feels like it's a lot of fun.
It does look pretty nutty.
They're so close to this stack.
Yeah, and Rojo, he's not enjoying his life right now. 1 Caustic Finale pop from one of the creeps, but the Ember's going to be finishing him off. An Epicenter with a fresh Blink Dagger. Gonna find himself a second Jubei to drop.
Yeah, Void Spirit was even lucky there because the chains didn't connect on him. They went on the creeps, if I saw that correctly.
Yeah.
But not that lucky because they still have more than enough to kill him off.
They still get the kill. And now Sadman gonna get surrounded. Golem with the Burrow Strike. The upheaval slow. And the Pounce, he ain't going anywhere. That's an easy one now when you know you have all the slows and stuns that you need for locking down this kill. But in the river, Lund's gonna get poked by Scourge McDuck. And here comes Speedgod as well with one of his kisses. That's a big streak for him to take. But Scourge McDuck wants another kill. But however, it's gonna be a double for the snap. And Scourge is just gonna have to suffice with some assists. Meanwhile, the fight continues onto Dutcho. Rojo having to astral step away.
Yeah, there was a blink on Sand King. I was thinking maybe he'll go for Snapfire, but yeah, Void Spirit kind of cut them off from his teammates. So they couldn't. Definitely not intended, but okay. I'll take it. Yeah, interesting. They got the Ember, and they needed to kill him. Ember was, at this point, having way too much of a good time. By the way, he's buying a vessel. It's an item that I'm seeing more and more now in the new patch. Like in the old patch, it was kind of forgotten, even versus the healing heroes. But I guess you're playing versus an IO. Sand King stun.
Yeah, and he's going to find a pretty beautiful one, too, because that's going to be 1 kill, maybe even a second. Sharpshooter, the break is there. Dutcho waving his hands. No creep wave to jump to yet. No tether available. Going to get Burrow struck onto the tower. Blinks away from the trap. TP's home. Scourge McDuck, he ain't going to give a high five for him.
Yeah, TA was going in. The 9 is caught, though.
Yeah, they will find a trade-off. It's something that they might potentially find. Yeah, finally gets him with the Astral Step, but Lund gonna go for the Vessel onto the Void Spirit and Dutcho. He's already back in action. detected a TP too far away. He wants back into the fray. Mortimer's Kisses flying in. The burn is there onto the Ember Spirit, taking a hefty amount of damage, and he will actually drop. Scourge McDuck will get to live. B-God saves the day.
And it's always B-God getting the kills on him.
It's always B-God,
Yeah.
right?
It's yeah, Ember is he's suffering from overconfidence, right? He's had such a good lane. He's got a couple of solo kills, like post laning stage. He made all the right moves, but he's still killable. And he needs to be very careful because in this game, eventually TA gets sharded as well. Like you can get silenced. You can get blown up by the side of the cut very easily. So it could be one of those games in which you start feeding a little bit and suddenly your game is in a dumpster. A winning game becomes a dumpster game. B-God.
You do have definitely some strong heroes on the side of the cut as well. B-God gonna get surrounded. Doom comes out onto Lund though. Bushwhack not gonna be a connection, but the upheaval and the sharpshooter, which looks like it's gonna be enough.
Yeah,
Helps him out with the acorn shot and a double for Dutcho.
yeah, Void Spirit kind of just chilling around, not really able to do a lot. Did you see the Echo Saber build on Void Spirit? I'm seeing it a lot now. Like
Yeah.
the Echo looks to be the build at the moment. I was questioning it, but yeah, I saw a couple of like Echo Saber and Dazo builds. Just full right click now that you're universal.
Yeah, and you have a Deso built up on the TA, so you can opt to build something different after the Echo Saber is ready on the Void Spirit. So yeah, a lot of emphasis onto the physical damage output. And I'm not sure, I wanted to talk about this a couple minutes ago when you mentioned Sand King and the Aghanims. I'm not sure if you mentioned he's actually building it, but
Yeah, he is.
we are gonna get to see it in action.
Yeah. That's why I was checking it. I saw that.
Yeah.
Actually, I went over Sandstorm and I read now upgradable by Aghanim Scepter. And I didn't read the Sand King's patch notes, right? I thought he's just strong. Just because, you know?
Yeah.
And now I see that Sandstorm actually has 2 Burrow Strike spines that are created at random locations.
That's like the ultimate Roshan Pit defending ability, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice bushwhack. Sharpshooter coming out. Void Spirit gonna get deleted. Dutcho might not be lucky enough to keep his life intact, but Shido gonna get the jump with the Snapfire. That's another hero. And Sandman to drop. Make it a 3-for-1 trade.
Maybe more.
Jubei and Scourge McDuck, they have relocate available. Bushwhack catches the IO, but do they know? Now they finally see him. Vessel comes through. Shido also going to be going for the jump in. And IO dropping low on HP, but he has nowhere
Now
to
TA
go.
even.
Scourge McDuck
Yeah.
actually wanting to fight this 1v4. He can do some damage, but he might just end up falling to this many heroes. He can't do enough against them.
I'm not sure. I thought that he was running in to get tethered, right? Just to maybe help Io. But perhaps he should have ran to the right. Instead, he kind of runs to get tethered. At the same time, he sees Hoodwink. He's like, maybe I can snipe this kill. Gets super punished for it. And this is a disaster for the cut. Like, every trade that they're making is a losing trade. Like, they're never getting... they're never one-upping Sand King Gomez. They always trade like 1-4-3 or... This was a full wipe, the last fight.
Every trade you make.
Every single trade they make. Panda is watching them. He's that kind of a guy. He likes watching trades.
4K lead for Sand King Gomez. Pretty convincing early game coming out for this team. Now they have their Slark is online. Boss might have been struggling in the lane, but he's doing pretty good. And Dutcho almost getting Jubei out of the way. There's a bushwhack onto 2. Io very low on HP. Remnant jump should be finishing him
Any
off.
boomers?
Doom also fairly low here. There he finally pops it, but Dutcho, he's got the epicenter. Is it going to be enough damage though? The Doom's still surviving, and Nine's not going to have the right click to burn through a Vanguard. And the Acorn shot out of all things gets the kill. 2 for 2. Still the slows coming out.
Slark's
This Sand King is fairly low. Oh, he found a regen rune out of all things, so he could be able to just go back straight into the fight. But the Slark's not going to get there.
Oh my god, the
reset.
minor imps are coming. Run!
Oh, the minor imps. Looking for some damage. No, not going to happen.
Dude, this minor imp thing, I don't know. It's
Minor
fun. It's
imps.
very funny. It's
Explode, dealing damage to all enemies around them upon death.
yeah. Look at them. They spawn in upheaval. Look at them. How much damage is that?
How much damage do they do? Oh, they actually do a pretty sizable amount, considering that they keep spawning.
There's a ton of them. Like, this is an infestation of imps.
Max health is damage 60%. 60% out of 300. Yeah, that's a lot. Void Spirit, however, that's a freebie. So every imp explodes for like 175, 180 damage, something like that.
Pretty much, yeah. Good.
When you stack them all at the same time, that's like playing against the techies.
Finish maps, I believe.
Finish that's TA, however. Scourge McDuck, relocate save. Oh, just in time. Of course, it's Jubei.
B-God?
B-God also used Mortimer's Kisses, has a Force Staff. Gonna wait for the pounds to come out so he can break it. The distance, Scourge McDuck, he's nearby. Io coming in for that extra heal, just coming straight fresh from the fountain. Lund in the middle of all of them. He's got no hoots, no cares in the world.
Ooh.
And the Burrow Strike with the Golem. They get Scourge McDuck. They're going to get themselves the Void Spirit too. Surrounded by opponents, surrounded by imps and golems and heroes and whatnots.
Can they get more?
Hey. They've got chains of 3. Bushwhack connects on Jubei. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, he wanted to slay for damage.
yeah. Lund, like, his chains are very unfortunate this game. Like, they're just always going on some creeps, on some random units, on some heroes that he doesn't want to chain, but they still find their kills, and most importantly, they find a kill on TA and on the Void Spirit. Like, it started off as a small little pick-off on a Snapfire, and it ended as a pick-off on TA and Void Spirit. So perfect for Sand King Gomez. They're just playing a better game of Dota at the moment.
They are, and they're slowing down this powerful TA. Like, we've seen how much impact this hero can have. That BKB has been slowed up by several minutes now, because this is a no-blink TA where you're looking at a very early timing for damage. Meanwhile, the Doom is getting caught by Dutcho, by 9, and they're already level 12 on their Hoodwink as well, so they have that big experience advantage. Void Spirit, he's in the bottom 4 right now.
He's just not having a game from that mid lane. Once he died solo, I believe his game just became so difficult.
This looks like the Void Spirit from last patch.
Yep.
You struggle if you don't get a good start for the game. Like, you have to have a good start for the game.
Pretty much. What they need on the cut right now is BKBs. They have one already on the Doom. TA is buying the next. He's sitting on 600 gold. He needs a recipe, so 800 gold more, and they should be able to take a fight at least. Like, right now, they aren't even able to take a fight. They're just being destroyed every single time. Sand King is too big of a problem.
He is, and he's got that Aghanims as well. You know, the one thing that I was a bit disappointed about, I just saw the Sandstorm. It's not making that constant Burrow Strike spam sound. That would have been great. Like,
Yeah. Did you play StarCraft ever?
A couple times.
Yeah, so there are lurkers in StarCraft. They basically
the lurkers.
They burrow and they spam, impale constantly, and it's always that sound, just yeah.
You know, maybe they'll add that in the C patch. Ice Frog, please.
I mean, look at these spikes. Like, I don't even know which way it's sitting. Like, once he pops the Sandstorm, I literally don't know where it's gonna. It's random, but it's constant.
Yeah, and if it's like fully random, and if the code is literally just like on an XY angle, it could mean that you could have 2 Burrow Strikes spawn on the same spot as well, unless they've added like it can't spawn right next to the other one that was already created. So that could be pretty wild, just getting controlled by Burrow Strike stuns from Sandstorm. Then you have your own Burrow Strike in the mix. Then you have Upheaval and these little imps exploding around you. Like, that's literally unplayable.
It's like, this isn't my game. That's how the cut is gonna feel.
Oh, but the 5-man smoke on 5, and Stark gonna get instant doom. That's a great beginning for the cut. Instantly deleted. Yanbura, he does
They
get
still
the
want to
burrows. They're gonna fight this one, but how much damage can they deal? Oh, that's a lot that they get. Dutcho with that Sandstorm. They're just getting stunned over and over and over again. And Scourge McDuck, he pops his BKB, but he's also disarmed from the halberd and just not doing a decent amount of, or at least enough damage onto Lund. He's got a Haze Rune as well. He's playing with them. He's toying with them right now. Sadman can't even catch up with this Ember Spirit. He's going to be able to run away.
So they,
forcing out a buyback as they just lost a lot of heroes under that tier 2.
yeah, so they buy back what the Snapfire in the end, and that's it. They did lose a lot of heroes, but TA didn't die. I think that's really...
And they killed the Slark, which was a great beginning.
Yeah, and the way Slark gets doomed is very funny too. He just runs into their smoke, and Doom manages to doom him before Slark manages to pop his ulti. Which I feel like it shouldn't happen. He probably was just super startled at that point.
I guess you always want to add a bit of extra like outplay value where you're like, maybe they lose vision of me or something, but that's literally next to like a cliff ward spot, so...
Yeah, I think you pop your ulti.
Gotta be fast.
Yeah, you pop your ulti there as Slark, and you win that fight easily. But fortunately for the cut, that didn't happen. They did manage to doom him. I still think... Look, like, there's too many good targets to doom. That's a problem. Like, what do? Just buy eggs, pop that big boy on you, and hope for the best.
Hope for the best indeed.
Because, like, you need to... Realistically, you have to doom Sand King as well, right? Like, he's bringing the most control in these fights. He's probably the most important target to kill first. And then you have Ember as well, who's just a nuisance. You have a Slark. If you don't doom him, eventually he just gets way too many stacks. It's a hard game for Sad Man.
Sand King Gomez definitely playing towards the perks of the late game with this lineup. Slowing down this TA has been successful so far, but they are also getting a lot stronger. Bigod's courier has been spotted, so Sand King Gomez, they have a clear idea where the cut is going to be moving around at this time. Vision also placed down around that twin gate. Sitting in the trees, just chilling at the back. Meanwhile, the rest of the 4 are stacked up, but Bigod, he's trying to be, you know, sneaky here.
Nice
However,
stun.
they got their stun. Nice initiation coming out from Sand King Gomez as they were looking for that Void Spirit for drop first. The IO also caught in the bushwhack. No relocate save, and Scourge McDuck almost also dies during a BKB, but he's able to teleport home.
Sad Man. Yeah, he needs to stay there and farm for a little bit because Slark is cutting him off. He can't move back.
They can go high ground here.
Yeah. They don't have BKBs. I think that's also very important.
No BKBs, no Aegis advantage, but they're still going to go for it.
I mean, no BKBs on the cut. Like, that's more important. Like, you force them to use all the BKBs. Because of that, you can just push high ground. Maybe not even one side. Let's see. One side is safe. Pushing more is probably not because Void Spirit will be up. But they're 10k up. Like, Sand King Gomez. They can lose the fight with some really good, nice Doom, but besides that, I feel like they're winning every single team fight that goes their way.
They're just trying to push
it's because of the
towards
imps.
Their next big items.
Yeah,
It's because of the imps, yeah. Sand King Gomez smoking up from top to bottom. This is a very good move. I really like to see this happen a lot, where you smoke up from the top, head straight to bottom, because you're going to find something valuable with it. It's a TA kill.
And the Doom is scouted too. He should be able to get away. Let's see. Yeah, he's fast enough. He kills the courier.
Is he fast enough though? Yules is available, and now maybe a potential lucky burrow strike from that Sandstorm. He's doomed, but he's just going to be chilling inside it. And that Doom is going to deal a lot of damage on the Sand King, and that will mean Dutcho's death. But they also look for the sideline, trying to get the connection on the Void Spirit. He jumps away with an Astral Step, and just back in the safety of his high ground. So, the cut,
Yep.
pretty happy that they find themselves a kill on a pretty big target too.
Yeah, and you can see the way they're drawing on the map right now. They're basically saying, let's go rush. That's it. We don't have Sand King for 30 seconds. We cannot fight. We shouldn't fight, at least, without him. Slark is still kind of lurking around. I think he's just going for the Wisdom Rune, right? Or maybe... Okay, he's snatching their Ancients first.
Could get to that level 3 ult. Now he's also picked up a shard. Has that Death Shroud. And that's almost level 18. Slark, curiously, Doom is actually the only one with a level 3 ult this game.
Just Midas,
Mainly
right?
thanks to that kill. Midas
and the kill,
and the kill on the Sand King, yeah. Big streak.
He's holding a tier 3 token. He's not really converting it into anything. He just doesn't know. Doesn't know what to switch into.
He doesn't know.
Yeah. Pepe
This
hands.
Doom is in a very awkward position. He's going to get Yules'd up as well, and maybe even more stuns chained up. The Glimmer Cape's there. Barrier almost soaks up the entirety of that damage, but now they don't have the Doom for 13 seconds. Does he get to live that long? Jubei was thinking about relocating for a second, but the heals seem to be sufficient for the time being with that BKB. Scourge McDuck throwing a big hit onto 9, but the stuns are there, and now Scourge McDuck needs saving. Jubei can't even get to save rescue his buddy because he's still going to end up dropping. Scourge McDuck down. Bigot's going to be dropping as well. It's going to be a dieback, and on the Doom as well. They're going to find another. That's going to be 4 kills. Sand King Gomez run them down.
Yeah, I feel like we will not see an upset in this particular series. Sand King Gomez just... unlike Alpha, they're looking as strong as throughout the season. Look at all those spikes. Like, what the hell is happening? That's too many, right?
Too much.
Because
You're going to draw a line somewhere, but it's too much.
they stun you, right? 2 Burrow Strike spines are created at random locations, each having 65 radius.
Yep.
They apply Burrow Strike damage and stun to enemies hit. And they're just like you're not going to dodge that. There's just way too many spawned around him.
Yeah, and if you get hit by one of those, that's almost a 2-second stun. You might get another one connected, then you have the Yules that can be bought for another 2.5 seconds, and by then, you're going to have another actual Burrow Strike up on the Sand King. Maybe you get lucky, you get a 4th Burrow Strike to connect from that Sandstorm. So you can, technically, you could perma-stun somebody to death and not let them play the game with Dota at all.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't work that way, and that it can't be overlapped at least. But
You got to be super unlucky if that happens.
yeah.
If you are the target dying to Sand King, that is.
Yeah, it's one of those Ice Frog things, you know? Like, you see it and you say thank you, Ice Frog, when you're playing against it.
All right, the cut, they're going to smoke up. They use the scan on bottom, but can they get to Roshan fast enough? It's doable. It's definitely doable. This is big.
Warlock can actually farm now with the shard. Look at him. He was actually farming, just defending out, pushing the lane. They are smoking up though.
Yeah, they're coming for this Roshan. It's down a half HP. Sand King Gomez got to be ready for it. Blink instantly from Sand King as well as he throws himself into the air with the Yule's going to get doomed up, but Lunt's coming in. Shido's coming in. Scourge McDuck, he's disarmed right now. Can't hit any targets, but the Ember Spirit in the middle. Lunt's going to be dropping very low. He's going to get silenced up as well. And a 1-for-1 trade. The 2-for-1 trade, even in this case. The Isle's going to be buying back into the fight as well. Shido's trying to fight against them as well, but his ulti popped as well. Sadman going to be dropping very low in HP. Scourge McDuck also going to be dropped. The Imps and the Epicenter. Everything thrown onto the cut, and that is going to be game. Sand King Gomez, they basically just rattled them over. They go for the full-on team wipe and an ultra kill for the Slark. There's no coming back after that.
Yeah, the question now only remains, do they go Rosh or do they push high ground for some buybacks? I feel like Rosh is probably safer. That's what they will do. They have bought back the Sand King. Sand King Gomez, you know, if your Sand King dies twice and he doesn't have a buyback, it's a death loss. You just lose instantly. So they need to make...
It's a win condition, yeah.
They need to make sure that Osho is alive. Okay, just easy Rosh. A lot of stacks stolen by Stark. They get that diagrams. They have the Lincolns too now. Like,
spawning imps to explode on Roche.
Yeah, like one thing that they are missing in this game that you can see is because of the Sand King on the offlane, they're lacking a lot of utility. They don't have a lot of saving tools as well. Hoodwink with the Force Staff is pretty much it. So
Our curiosity question. Can Warlock solo Roshan with upheaval?
I really hope not. Like,
it's a 16-second duration with a 35-second cooldown, so probably not. But Scourge McDuck going to get jumped by Shido. Cookie save coming out. Sharpshooter will miss.
Ember Silence.
Couple abilities missed out on Sand King Gomez, and Scourge will get a couple big hits. The Ember Spirit very low on armor, but they are already finding a kill on Jubei. And then Sarm onto the TA coming out as well, but on the side, Sandman going to get dropped with that Doom. And B got to fall Rojo trying to do his best to get on the Sand King, on top of him at least, try to look for a kill. Doesn't look like it's going to be happening. More buybacks coming out. The TA is forced to rejoin the fight. Sandman trying to run away from Lund. But that DD rune, this Ember Spirit, he's just rejoicing with that kill. And another stun that's going to be onto Rojo with that Void Spirit. Doesn't look like he's got anywhere to go. Going to get rooted up by the chains. This time Lund's not going to miss them. He's going to get hit by the stun, though, from the Snapfire and will actually drop. But Cheeto, Ducho, they're very low. They could still probably follow through. Another Burrow Strike onto the TA, forcing the BKB out of Scourge McDuck.
I'm surprised Ember
Will get healed up by Jubei.
I'm surprised Ember isn't buying back. Like, this is the last fight. He's still chilling.
Vibing to all the way to the end.
Yeah, his teammates are diving the fountain, you know, trying to complete the end.
Oh, Scourge McDuck, he just got stunned by Sand Burrow. What do you even call that? Just a Burrow Strike?
It's the same, I guess, yeah. Just the spike.
Just the spike.
Spines. Burrow Strike spines.
Oh yeah, spines, yeah. That's true. Bottom lane to fall, that's going to be Mega Creeps. Only getting worse for the cut. Still no success.
Just look at that. Look at that. It just spikes everywhere. It's scary.
Yeah.
Slark, sir?
Goes pretty deep, but he's got a lot of armor. He's got 46 armor currently with all these stacks that he's stolen. And he could even just pop a Depth Shroud as well inside the fountain. He doesn't give a he's just going to kill them all. He gets taunted by the Remnant and has to try to pounce away.
That's a... Yeah, he still lives. He still lives. Sand King now, it's his turn.
Oh, we got Cookie deeper in, but does get the 4-staff save. And the epicenter from Ducho, but he is low. He will take down Scourge McDuck. Nevertheless, he will fall. Shido to chase Rojo. He's got his spells on cooldown, but there's the GG call. The cut, they finally had enough. Sand King Gomez to take game one.
Okay, what I really liked about the cut, at least something, right? Like they had a really bad game, but what I really liked about the cut is they never gave up. They fought until the end. They smoke up when the game is looking bad. They go for that Roshan attempt, right, to try and at least take something away from Santin Gomez. And later on in the game as well, even though they lost that fight, they lost the Aegis, they're still sticking in. They're still sticking around. They're literally playing until the throne, or in this case, even the fountain is falling. So kudos to them, but Santin Gomez just being too strong for Division 2. Once again, demonstrating power, really.
Power, execution, communication. It feels like everything is going right for this team. Out of Slark having a difficult laning stage, he went 14-1 and 15, so it really didn't look like he's struggling that much at all. They were able to corral around the Sand King, and of course Lund with his Ember Spirit already beating his mid. You've got two lanes that are going great. Slark's not the guy you have to rely on at 15 minutes, but he's the guy who can tune in and get a couple kills for himself, and he's going to be back into the game. What does the cut have at that point? Well, we have a fairly farmed up Doom. We have an alrightly farmed TA, but we do not have a Void Spirit this game, so our mid is completely out of the count. So Sand King Gomez just finding, you know, the best out of the laning stage. Honestly, it did feel like that was the big difference maker, that you're playing a late game carry that's not having a great time in the lane. That's fine.
Yeah, they definitely found a lot in the lanes, mid and top. You know what's at least like another silver lining for the cut? This TA hero. I think later on, yeah, he did fall off, and the halberd messed him up a couple of times. He used it, used the BKB after it. Like, that's all fine, but TA still looks extremely strong. Considering that they were 10k behind at some point, she was still dishing out a ton of damage.
Yeah, it's like the hero is still super good. It's just missing out on the timings because your opponent is just too far ahead, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So that is definitely a good silver lining, and I agree on that this TA can still be a carrying force for the cut. I wouldn't be too surprised if they pick it again for that next game, but they got to get more out of their mid, and potentially, you know, Sadman in the offlane with the Doom. He did an all right time. Like, he's good with these 1-versus-1 matchups, but how does that go with the 2v2? Well, Sand King Gomez coming up with the win, and, you know, great draft, great execution. I think we've pretty much said it all. But who is MVP worthy here? Do we give it out to the Sand King with that frisky Aghanims?
I think so. I think so, yeah. Not only because of the Aghanims, just the way he played overall. It was really damn good, really damn on point. He gets the burrow strikes and stuff. Like the lane itself, he did die once, but besides that, like post laning stage, he was all around solid. Like initiates properly, follows up. Even when they lose the Slark early on in the fight, he still goes in and cleans up. Remember the fight around the tier 2? That's basically on top of him. And I really feel that this hero right now is back. Like with the Aghanims and from what from what I've seen, like Aghanims got buffed, Caustic Finale is strong, Sandstorm is strong. Like I don't know, like the hero feels back.
Also, the fact that he had the early Vanguard in the laning stage, very useful against the TA, but you can still disassemble it. As you can see, there's a Perseverance coming up. There's the Aeon Disc that was also built at some later phase of the game from it. But, you know, just in general, the damage output the hero has, the extra control that Aghanims provides, very Aghanims-worthy hero. You know, just rush that item and good things will happen. That was a pretty scary one to see, but things that also benefited out of that, you know, the upheaval and the mini imps. I didn't actually read that one up, but that was funny to see.
Yeah, like the mini imps upheaval plus Sandstorm plus Fatal Bonds. It's like you cannot survive that. You don't even know what's happening. I'm sure if the cut saw those mini imps, they're like, what the hell is going on? Like, get me out of this game. But one negative side from having, not the way he played, Ducho played Sand King, but from having him and the item build that he went for is, like, they were lacking some utility. Like, no pipes, no greaves, nothing like that. And it did hurt them a couple of times. The heroes were falling a little bit too fast. So versus a team that had perhaps a better time in the first 15 minutes, this game could have been much harder.
Well, let's see if Game 2 is going to be any different, because Sand King Gomez going up in the lead and looking for a clean 2-0 versus the cut. They can still bring up some of the strats that have worked with them before. Or do they still have an ace up their sleeve? That after the break. And the first game is in the bag, and now we're heading over to the second one with Sand King Gomez in the lead versus the Cut. And as already mentioned before, if you're tuning in as a new viewer, Sand King Gomez with one more win will take first seed out of the second division and be already promoted, but also get that, prestigious #1 spot. Nobody can take it away from them, except maybe the Cut can, because if they win, we go to game 3. If they win the series, they still get to play for a bigger prize pool. However, if they lose this series in this game 2, or even in a game 3, it means they have to fight for their lives to stay in Division 2, Lizard. That is the brutal reality of it.
Yeah, you don't want to take away position 1 from Sand King, but at the same time, you probably don't want to get relegated, and that's more important if you're the Cut right now. You don't want to be having to fight for your life. You don't want to be in that situation. And you know what? Yeah, they lost game 1, so what? It's NA. Crazier things have happened. We've seen a series that started much more convincingly in the first team's favor, and then they still lose. Sand King, they did win, but it wasn't it was convincing. Let's not lie ourselves, right? It was fairly convincing. At the same time, you could see some cracks in the armor here and there, and definitely, yeah, I can see some world in which the Cut, if they draft something up really nice, if they pull out some drafts that they've been saving up, they could take 2 games off of Sand King Gomez.
Talking about Sand King Gomez as well, this was the first time they got to pick their Sand King, literally the hero in their banner, in their name, in their game, and taking a win with it. That Aghanims is quite the something. It was actually pretty interesting to see it in action. And having, it wasn't like, oh man, this is broken as hell, but it sure is scary to go up against. You're like, how do we fight this Sand King in his Sandstorm? The traditional approach, get a sentry or put some dust. You want maybe Doom to just blink in. Hopefully you're landing on the right spot, finding the hero, getting some close lockdown, maybe even drop the Doom straight on top of this hero. But you're already in a Sandstorm, and your Aghanims is doing work even if you're getting muted. It just doesn't do the effect. You want to kill the hero, but it felt like the entire team's just going to end up getting stunned by him.
Yeah, exactly. Even when they doom him, you still don't want to be in the Sandstorm. So I feel like the best way of playing against him is dooming him, obviously, before, right? He does anything. That's the optimal scenario. The second best one is moving out of the Sandstorm. It's just dodging the area in which he wants to fight. But you couldn't do that in the last game because you had the Warlock follow-up. If he doesn't hit you with the Rock, he's going to hit you with Upheaval, so you can't even move out of it.
Yeah, not a fun place to be in, indeed. So what do you think about the Cut? Their comfort heroes were getting targeted pretty heavily in the drafting phase. No techies, no Skywrath Mage, no Bristlebacks. Do you feel like they've figured out a hero for themselves outside of the TA that could potentially work? What comes to mind from your pub game experience? The Void's obviously super strong in mid if you have a good game. The TA looks like a very solid hero. Is there something Satman could maybe pull off in the off lane? Is it the Doom? Is the Doom the right answer, or something else? Maybe?
I feel like the first thing that they have to do is fix the mid lane. If it's possible for them not to die on mid, like Rojo. He's the stand-in, so it's kind of hard to ask from him, but your mid lane should not be losing 1 versus 1. If you can save that lane, everything else becomes easier, no matter what you're picking. Because realistically, this game was carried very hard by Ember early on. He gets a huge advantage on the mid lane, and then he just rotates across the map, makes space everywhere else. And the Void Spirit, Ember was level 7.5 when Ember was 5. It's when things like that happen, you need to commit a lot of resources into saving the mid lane, and then your side lanes are suffering even more. So, yeah, that's the first thing. When it comes to heroes, I don't think that they should be locking themselves in or boxing themselves in with the heroes that they've picked before. Because, it's a new patch. I think anyone can experiment, and I think they should as well.
Well, let's see if this Game 2 draft that is live right now is going to be a turning point for experimentation or falling back on comfort. And I'm looking at the Cut right now. Do they stick with what's already worked with them before that haven't been hit by the nerf hammer too hard in this big 733B patch that we're playing right now? Or are they still feeling like we can pull off something completely different and hope that it works and meshes together? Because we saw Oversight do that pretty convincingly because they'd already experimented on a couple things and they say that they have multiple ideas. The cut and their hero pool, it felt like it was kind of last patch right now. Like they just haven't had too much success outside of their safe lane. The safe lane's the strongest lane that they've had so far.
On the cut, you mean the IO and the TA, right?
IO and TA, but in general, just Jubei and Scourge McDuck playing together. And of course, Italiano Gangstar not playing.
Yep.
Him and B-God were super effective in the offlane. Now it feels a little bit different.
Yeah, I would say that their offlane duo before was stronger, right? Like they in most games, well, not in most games. Some games they would feed the hell out of their mind, but some games they would just dominate as well. If your nickname is Italiano Gangstar, you know, like you have to make flashy plays. It's the way it is. You either feed,
you gotta live up to the name.
Go big or go home, basically. Okay, the cut actually go with a DP. I'm not sure what I feel or think about the DP currently. I've had a ton of games with her. She still feels decent. The map is a bit bigger. So just using exorcism from one objective to another takes way more time. Because of that, I feel like fundamentally Hero isn't as good as it was previously, even though, yeah, she's still the same old DP.
Well, there's the hero that we've already seen having a lot of impact with that new, was it Mind Flare? That this hero
Correct.
has, and especially when played as a core. You wanted to see it off lane. We got to see in mid, so I believe all bets are open, 2, 3, or 4 position for this Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, like it can, exactly like you said, very versatile hero. I'm not sure if you want to lane it into DP though. So if DP is mid, maybe it's not the best into her. I'm not sure. And they instead pick Ember, who also isn't that great into DP, but yeah, he did so much in the first game. They just give him the Ember Spirit once again.
Yeah, Lund has definitely been, like, I will say it, the best Ember player in Division 2. Someone's probably going to say, hell no, that's not the case, but I think he is.
Was he the one with Blade Mail, Orb of Corrosion, and Mage Slayer? Because that Ember was also pretty sick. I think it was him. It probably should have been him. Yeah, that build. Yeah, I think... No, that's Emporio. Where is Emporio playing? Like, where is he position 5? In which team? I forgot.
Empyrean?
Yeah, Empyrean.
Wasn't he with Oversight? No. Oh, Alpha.
Alpha, yeah. I think their Ember...
the 5 for
Yeah, I
Alpha.
think their Ember is also very good.
Yeah, Black Soul was pretty good in mid, for sure.
Yeah. But we'll let them...
RRL's another one, which you could say is also pretty solid.
Yeah, we'll let them battle it out for the best Ember in Division 2. Right now, the cut, they need to figure out a way to mix up their drafts, make something new happen. Like, Techies is still in the pool. I feel Techies is really strong. So if they...
I also think, like, you just picked your pause 4 here and you called it out. Techies that was banned out in the second phase last game. They don't want to leave it for chance. They just want to get it and be God. You can see a bit of a smirk on his face there as the hero was getting picked. So, guys, I got my Techies. Let's go.
Yeah, like, the hero looks like he's doing way too much damage at the moment. Like, in the lane and after it, as long as you're not buying Aghanim's, because that Ags, for me, looks pretty damn bad at the moment. I feel that you have to be doing a lot. Like, it's just the damage in the lane with Blast Off, later on as well from the ulti. It's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. Versus Nyx as well. Just setting up mines, you can't Vendetta around. That's always decent to have.
So we're seeing a Silencer ban come out as well with the Bat Rider in the second phase. Now it slowly starts to talk about, a potential Snapfire idea for Senkin Gomez. Maybe another teamfight ulti that they're looking for because the big global silence is gone. it does hurt the Ember Spirits game a bit because you need to itemize against the global silence.
Yeah, it's like Ember into globals into silences in general isn't great. Doesn't feel good.
And the Nyx Assassin, who doesn't do anything. Like, you usually, if you build some kind of defensive item, it's usually like a Yules on a Nyx Assassin. But that, if you build a Yules, you're missing out on the big potential this hero provides, which is maxing out on the damage output.
Gyrocopter, okay.
What did they do to this hero? I actually need to look up.
Yeah, same.
Gyrocopter, what have they done to you?
I didn't see a single gyro game.
So they've changed his homing missile a little bit. Looks like it has been nerfed by quite a lot. Also, his flak cannon has been buffed, so they want to push the carry gyrocopter.
Yeah, I remember now, exactly. So, yeah, flak cannon buffed, homing missile, I believe, nerfed. Like the shard nerfed as well, right? So interesting that they go for that. Like, gyro, obviously, for a really long time, wasn't popular. And it does look like he should be the carry. I mean, overall, just looking at the changes, it looks like it should be played more in that carry role. But they can still mix things up. They can still play him on some support, I'm sure. He's still...
Yeah, I guess you could still... Yeah, you could still make it work.
Yeah, the barrage is still barrage, right? It still dishes out a ton of damage.
But if you do play it as a gyrocopter core, what kind of support do you look with it? Because, the IO was banned out. That's the big buff the gyrocopter core usually plays with.
I'm not sure, maybe an Ogre or something like that. But now with the Bane picked up, I wouldn't mind seeing something that can break the grip easily. If
I wouldn't mind a hard dispel right now because DK stun, Bane grip.
Yeah, sure.
Oracle 5?
Legion Commander on the offlane.
LC, LC is good. I kind of like the idea of Oracle. Hero's been a bit underwhelming, but I think they did buff the Oracle just a little bit more to get people more interested in it.
See, they first snatched the PL.
So support gyrocopter then, all right.
Definitely looks that way. Now, is it a 5? Is it a 4 with some Nyx Assassin on the offlane? Are these two supports, Nyx and Gyro? I'm not sure. I'd still, like you said, like you've seen Nyx Assassin on all positions, I feel that the hero still thrives on position 3, like on the offlane or mid. It just does so much.
There is some flex value with this Nyx Assassin, but he also makes a lot of sense as a support now with this Bane in the game. Just make sure that your main focus this game is, annoy the DP a little bit, maybe poke the techies, but literally just find the Bane. That's Nyx's job this game. So we need an offlane potentially for Senkin Gomez, if that is the case, and it's a last pick as well. So they could still opt to put Nyx as a 3 if the cut's final pick, which looks to be, if they don't put the DK as a carry, which could also happen, we need a Scourge McDuck hero, and his Bloodseeker and Troll get banned out.
Yeah, I actually like Dragonite into PL. I don't mind that matchup for DK. Like, your Breed Fire is strong against him. Later on, if you get the ultimate Black Dragon form as well, just you can deal with the illusions very well. The splash damage is there, right? The slow as well. So I wouldn't mind seeing DK as a safe laner.
That long 74-minute game we had, it was a TA versus PL, right?
Yes, exactly.
So you could just go for TA on the side of the cut again, be happy with it.
TA is terrible into PL. That's why it went 74 minutes. PL was picked into her. However, at the same time, your idea makes sense in a way that you pick TA and then you run the game over, right?
Yeah, run the game over, because that was like, they were 18,000 gold ahead at 21 minutes, and they still weren't able to close out the game. Then PL plus 30 minutes start to kick in.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, but maybe you don't want to put yourself on a timer as well, right? Like, you can pick something a bit better. Okay, PA.
Hey, you have a Battle Fury carrier?
You just pick Legion, buy that Blade Mail on him, on her. Duel the PA.
Well, let's see what Dutcho wants to bring out into the offlane. looking at the heroes that he has played up till this point, it's a little bit different in terms of hero pool. They banned out his Mars. They banned out his Sand King, which he was successful with. There's no Bat Rider. There's no DK. So it's Elsie or Tiny or something different. If he brings out the Nyx Assassin, does 9 just last pick? I don't know. Mirana's really not like a last pick material. Not a 24 pick material type of hero.
I'm not sure.
Tide
like you could still play. Yeah, Tide is an option. You could still play Nyx on offlane, like you said, and pick some Rubik to steal Bane's grid for techies.
It is a melee matchup, so you could just pick a melee hero here for Senkin Gomez and be fine with it. Hence why I thought Tidehunter. I was thinking Timbersaw for a moment too. If
Tide is a good call. I feel like Tide's solid. Like later on, some break from PA, but besides that, like he feels strong. Brings you some utility, some stability in these fights. Because look at the cut, Dragonite DP. They'll really try and break you early on. They want to use these ultis and take your towers, take the objectives.
Therion is something I also thought about, but
it's similar.
Usually you're picking this hero against illusion heroes. How do you like Underlord in this particular game?
No, I like Underlord overall in the current meta. The aura is good, ulti is good too. Like, so there are twin gates on the map, but you get an additional pair, right? If you're the Underlord, so that's nice.
Tri-gates.
Yeah, you have tri-gates now. Also, there's this fact that now you have Firestorm to spam in front of your towers to defend against the DP and the DK, so that's also pretty good. And you're going to be building a lot of utility to help out your PL and Ember versus the PA. So overall, I do like it. I feel it's a solid pickup.
The main storyline we had from post game 1 was the cut needs to help out their mid more. So Rojo, he's got himself a somewhat tanky mid laner in this in the form of this DK. How do they? Well, he could also be going off lane depending where Sadman wants to go. He's just like, all right, just give me mid back, I'll take over. But how does the cut achieve a better laning stage this time around? How do they just rotate the techies Bane the whole time?
I think it should come naturally. Like Dragonite versus Ember should be much easier this time for Rojo, and you have techies plus DP on the offlane, which as well should be not too difficult for them to play. As long as they play that lane right, I feel there's a lot of kill potential even. We'll see, maybe they switch up. They put the DK on the offlane and DP on the mid, but I don't think it changes things massively. It might even make things better for them, like if they decide to go that way.
Well, let's see how this game 2 is going to be rolling out. It is the cut against the wall, and Senkin Gomez one more victory away from snatching number 1 place in Division 2, as their promotion has already been guaranteed, but they can make it look a little bit better, a little bit flashier, and earn why they are the top team in the division. Both teams smoking up, but going in separate parts of this map. TC heading towards the bottom half of the map, and Senkin Gomez invading the top.
Big smokes happening, taking over some watchers, chilling. Look at SKG even going all the way around to the outpost.
A lot of places to explore.
Yeah, it's like the new map. No one really knows where teams are hiding at the moment, what the best positions are. But look at them. Actually, are they going to use the twin gates and all go bottom? They really want to fight, but it's only 3 of them now.
I guess they're rotating their safe lane duo, at least, of this Gyrocopter and the PL, but Ember Spirit will be joining in the party. And that's a lone Phantom Assassin that they're going to be walking into. So Scourge McDuck, does he
knows,
stay?
he knows,
Nope,
yeah.
He knows.
So 2 for 2 in the end, yeah.
Yep.
It was a cool play with the twin gate to try and, okay, they scouted our woods, they know that we're top, let's use twin gates and surprise them on the bottom. It's a pretty good idea.
So we are starting off our first quick brawl as well to the techies. A bit of early nuke coming out from that homing missile. You have double range heroes though, so this homing missile shouldn't have massive impact.
Nyx already got really low. yeah, the missiles should be they should be able to kill it, right?
Especially with techies with the big attack range, not even changed. He got a massive buff this patch with that extra right-click damage now you get as a universal hero. And still with that same attack range. Like, imagine if techies was like, all right, he hits harder now, but you take like 100 or 150 attack range away from him. I feel like techies would not be as fantastic as he actually is if that happened.
Yeah, usually, like overall, one of the nicest things about this hero was always the range and the slow missile on that range. You know, you just kind of see it flying to you, and you can't really do a lot, and it's poking you for what 30 damage before. Now, quite a bit more.
You could come up with some crazy cosmetics with this hero, considering if you think about like the guy who's shooting the projectile, the guy in the front, he's actually got like this kind of bazooka. So you could make him shoot like nuclear missiles or something like that, and you'd still feel literally like that.
Yeah, and you talked about the missiles, like this homing missile.
Rojo in mid. Ooh, is that enough, though? Oh, he's so close to dropping, but Lund is also about to die, so no kill coming for either one.
Yeah, but this is much better for DK, I feel, because he has that Dragon's Blood, he's sitting under the tower. He should be able to get a lot of his HP back.
Yeah, he's going to win the HP trade.
Yeah, at the same time, I feel like this shouldn't be happening. Like, he shouldn't be almost dying into an Ember. Sad man, though. There you go.
They find themselves a kill, and B-God will die to the creep wave, plus the gyrocopter right-clicking away. So 1 for 1, but it is your carry down.
Yeah, they got the level 2 on techies. Blast off, some sticky bombs, and like PL, he's got a decent chunk of armor, but not too much of HP early on.
Shido now has the same amount of deaths he had last game. And this one's coming in pretty early as well on this PL.
I really think the draft of the cut is much better this time around. And Ember, in that last game, he just had a stomp on mid and then started rotating and doing madness everywhere on the map. This time around, he has to do it, I feel like.
They're failing their abilities a bit in the bottom lane, missing out on blast off, missing the sticky bomb. But at least they forced the gyrocopter back into his place. Ember's lane is slowly and gradually getting a bit more difficult with this DK keeping up the harass.
Yep, like the offlaners are winning right now, I feel like. Underlord getting a lot on top, DP getting a decent amount on the bottom lane, actually. Not as much of a CS domination by Sadman, but he did get a kill.
Market gets destroyed. Sadman dropping quite low here in bottom, and that's the last siphon that he's also going to be popping, so long cooldown. That is an 38 second cooldown, sorry. 80-second cooldown, wow. Would have to be a massive heal if it was actually that long.
Yeah, he'd have to morph into something for that.
Something like that. That's an interesting interaction
yep,
there, actually.
I just wanted to say
you saw the same thing as I did. I was like, okay.
Do you think that's... I still think you can dodge the damage, probably. If you use doppelgang,
if you doppel at the right time, you should be able to dodge it. But that it actually latches on your hero and still shows up when you land, that was something new. That is a very fast Vanguard up for Dutcho. So no longer a threat from this PA, and you can slowly start taking control of this lane.
Yeah, this Underlord kind of feels like the Doom in the last game. Just unkillable, I feel. Unless there's a pretty big rotation from, let's say, techies happening, he shouldn't be dying. And that opens up the map for Nyx. From now on, he can stack, perhaps rotate around.
Bottom lane, oh, that might be a death DP right there. He already lost the PL once, but he looks to be finding his revenge, and he's going to be jumping right on top of the hero.
Maybe
and
techies.
B-God going to get stunned up as well. The Nyx assassin showing up, but can they get this kill? Yes, they can.
Yeah, the Mind Flare. Just
The Mind Flare, yeah.
that's a surprising amount of extra damage that you need. Coming in clutch. Also 9 TPing for this one. Well done by him. I actually thought he might be using twin gates from top to rotate down bottom sooner, because when you look at this map, there isn't really a lot for him to do. On top lane, Underlord is fine. You don't have kill potential, but Underlord will be farming. You don't have to help him. So the only lane that I see that you can help is the bottom lane.
They really want to control these Lotuses on the side of Sankin Gomez. That extra healing you can get in terms of sustaining in the lane. PO was taking some heavy hits from the 2 points in Crypt Swarm and the Spirit Siphon. Already doubling up your damage at level 2. It's a big increase. And Burrow's going to be waiting for that 7-minute Wisdom Rune.
Yeah, mid lane is being pushed in. Dragon form is there. He already took half of the tower.
Oh, he misses the chains. Lund's really not been lucky with these chains at all.
Yeah, in the first game as well, his chains were really not on point.
Dire are scanning.
All right, Wisdom Rune fight's about to happen. Scan used. He got jumping in, and he's going to take it. But he might just... Okay, probably not going to die because he has the raindrops, but right clicks from Yanbura. Okay, he will drop in the end.
Yanbura,
to the tower.
He's feeling great this game. Shido actually dropped really damn low.
One saved him.
Yeah, he got that first kill on techies in the lane after PL died, solo experience. Now again he gets it. Did he get the Wisdom Rune? He didn't get the Wisdom Rune. That's kind of big, right? Techies.
Yeah, both went for the cut. Jubei picked up the one in top.
Yeah, that's really important. Mid lane.
One of their big importance is not being falling behind on experience, but DK turning out to be a very difficult kill, and with this Breathe Fire, no right-click damage really coming out. Looks also out of mana. Going for that aggressive Remnant jump and still thinking about it, but EGOT gonna get the turnaround. Big blast off coming out onto 9, onto Yanbura. Still a Rocket Barrage keeping them at bay. Another stun on the Gyrocopter that will drop 9, and they will get the Gyro too.
Yeah.
So the cut punishing Sankin Gomez for that optimistic dive.
Yeah, Lund was maybe a little bit too bloodthirsty. There's no way you kill the DK. You just saw that you don't have the damage. He pops the wand. The Ember still wants him, still went in, got punished for it. Well, he didn't get punished, but his 2 teammates did. One thing that I do like from Ember, in that last game, he was doing the same build. He had Orb of Corrosion, actually, in the last game. This game, he's just going Vessel. He's going on DK mid now.
It's another attempt, but this time they're going to bring the Underlord in, and that Firestorm, well, they don't have Pit of Malice, really, and they just used every single stun. Yep. All the control used up. Impale on cooldown and Chains on cooldown, and no Pit of Malice. He's just going to TP home.
Okay, he TP's home, but he does leave the tier 1 a little bit defenseless. So 3 heroes hitting that on the mid lane. Surprised Ducho didn't go back top to pressure the PA.
Important tower kill taking place in bottom for the cut. They get rid of the T1. Well, they are still about to lose their mid. No teleports coming in, and it's just Rojo. Just a level 1 Breathe Fire to try to slow them down. That tower is going to drop.
Yeah, I feel if you're SKG, you can make moves on the PA. Moves on DK are kind of difficult for you. You just don't have that kind of damage until there's a Vessel on Ember. Once there's a Vessel, yeah, sure. Then you can take anyone down.
Never refuse gold.
Sad man. Just casually pushing in the tier 2 10 minutes in.
Yeah, and constantly pressuring this PL too. A decent amount of damage too, but they are going to TP in for this one. No Diffusal Blade, no slow, but there's a rocket coming in, and DP might have just overextended, but EGOT, can he get himself a good blast off here? He's going to go for it. Gets the stun onto 3, and Burra's low. Jubei coming in from the side, has the Nightmare, has a 3-point Fiend script, not a Fiend script, but the Brain Sap indeed, and that Mine on top of it.
He's
going to
dead.
be enough for the kill. He's definitely dead on side of Lund.
Oh, if you're...
Burra might also drop.
Yeah, if you're Yambura right now, you're feeling really bad that you didn't
Okay.
Clears this. Okay, makes this here. Uses mine.
Instant Mind Flare, yeah. Not going to do a lot of damage, but Shido, got to be careful. Another Siphon available in 2 seconds. Can he get to use it? No. Here comes Dutcho as well. He did rotate in for this. Bigot, blast off forward towards the Twin Gate. 9, nobody there.
That fight felt so good for them if they just left after killing Ember. You killed the Ember, you move back, your Dragonite's taking mid tier 1, you took the bottom tier 1, you can get together, play around the PA, focus on just protecting her from now on. But they committed a bit too deep, they gave a couple of kills, a couple of extra kills to SKG. And I still feel that the most important part is they killed the Ember fast. Like this Ember needs to be the playmaker for his team. It's not going to be the Underlord. He just joins in afterwards with Fiend's Gate.
And they're still being considered favorites on the side of SKG. There's almost a 3 odds for the cut in this game. And this is not even getting to see what this PA can do this game. Still waiting for that farm. She's going to be online in terms of farm once you get that Battle Fury. It's not like you're going to start killing heroes with it.
Yeah, after game 1, I can understand the odds, but overall, I don't think that's a realistic representation of this game. I think the cut are in a decent spot.
Again, they attempted to go on the DK. They used everything for it, even the call down from Gyrocopter, but it's not enough. It's just not enough damage. I do have to say, though, this new Vendetta on the next Assassin, where you burn 50% of the target's max mana, and then you
like
get that
it?
extra bonus damage. I like it against these big spellcasters, like Bane. You have 200 mana for Fiend's Grip, but you are only able to get 1 or 2 abilities off if you get hit by Vendetta.
Yeah. Well, if you're hitting him with Vendetta, you're probably looking to kill him anyway, right? So.
Exactly, yeah. If it was something like a Lion or a CM, they're like, well, I can't ult anymore because I just got hit by Nyx.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. I like it a lot. Like it versus heroes such as Storm, too. Just getting rid of their mana.
Yeah, Storm really gets hurt by that.
Leshrac as well. These type of heroes.
Under attack.
How close is PA? Yeah.
Very close.
Like the
We're looking at 15 minutes.
Yeah, the Battle Fury is really big for him. He didn't go Orb of Corrosion, anything like that. He just committed into the BF, and I think it's good, like committing for it. Like you weren't going to win that lane anyway, with or without Orb of Corrosion, so why not just amp up your farming speed?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
11 kills in these early 14 minutes, but a bit of a rotation towards bottom as straight to the PL they go. Rojo, smoke pop, blink, stun. TP's coming in. Fiend's Grip available for Jubei, but Shido very difficult to catch. There's a camp to jump in with that Phantom Rush, and now Bane's going to be the target of all the hatred. Jubei, Gambora is being a real nuisance here. They also get the fight against that DK. Fresh Diffusal Blade, burn out his mana, get that extra damage in. Looking for that kill while the Gyro is gonna lose his own life to Scourge McDuck and Jubei, and this DK still surviving, blinking to safety, but there's Lund coming in from the other direction. Another blast off stun coming out as well, but the Breathe Fire is not going to be doing enough work. Bigot holding his ground. 9 takes down one of the mines. Jubei still taking some Firestorm, take damage. Lund with another jump, no more remnants available. Does get himself that chains. Oh my goodness, this dude. This is just something else. Lund hits the chains on the neutral camp and not onto the PA. Now looking for the turnaround. Exorcism used by the DP. They've got Mechanism as well. 9 gets denied by the same trolls that were running around in chains. And Dutcho keeps them at bay. Sadman still in the chase though. Going for the teleport home. And he barely gets it off too. That is a whole list of consequences, reasons and consequences happening that fight. 1 for 2 trade. But out of that, at least the PL gets to gets to see the whole fight through. But Scourge McDuck, he now takes first place with this Phantom Assassin. He's got his Battle Fury, working on a BKB, and he has the Desolator lined up too. Now taking another fight, Sadman, they got the stun from Rojo. They're gonna find the next assassin pretty fast here, but they're also dropping very low on the side of the cut. And it is the DP taking the brunt of the damage here. Rojo still 1100 HP, gonna get vesseled up once again, but able to get some distance between Lund and Dutcho and Yanbura. Ube on the high ground.
Got him.
He was just,
Nice sleep.
just gonna go for a ward, but gonna get caught here.
I really like the Atos, by the way, the Ducho bought this game. I feel it was necessary. They're kind of lacking catch. They do have it, but somehow it feels like it's not enough. Maybe because they're missing some. I'm not gonna say which one. Does feel like they're missing some. Everyone noticed.
Also, what do you think about DK now opting to go for Midas? They used the blink for a couple pick-off attempts, and now he's going for the Midas instead.
It's probably one hero in the game that can afford to buy the Midas this late, or go for the Midas this late. Fine.
You want to look for it for sure. DP gonna get surrounded by a lot of hostiles. B-God also dropping low and will get obliterated. And there goes the second kill, maybe even a third, as the DK's got nowhere to go. Root after root after root.
Yeah, I feel that if you're the cut, you shouldn't be taking these fights. You should be just playing the game as safe as possible. Your win condition is pretty damn clear. It's the PA. DK as well. If he's buying that Midas, if he's farming up the Midas, just let him cook, let him farm. PA.
Oh. He finds a target for himself, and here comes Dutcho. The root is on PA, and they've got techies in the middle of it too. But at least Scourge McDuck gets a second to disengage, but not going to make his way out of the fight completely.
Exorcism.
They want to turn this one around. They will get one. They get more. Sadman. Oh no! Not that. The classic walk to the high ground regret to his death.
And the Exorcism as well used, together with the Dragon form too. Like, all the big spells have been used now after your PA died. Like, the cut, they're just constantly on the responsive side. They need to either decide to just stick around as 4 Protect 1 around the PA, don't spread out across the map way too far, or start making your own moves. Stop just responding. They're not that behind. If you look at the net worth, they're only 3k in deficit, so they still definitely can play this game. That's what they're trying. Here we go. Blink with DK, but a bit late.
At least one good thing you have on the side of this Bane is the Nightmare interaction versus the Gyrocopter. Always use it defensively to help your buddies out while playing aggressive with Fiend's Grip.
Yeah, I feel like overall it's a very valuable spell in the whole game. Not just for the missile, right? Like, it can help out with other things too. But I'm noticing that he's universal too right now. Bane is universal.
I wonder he's got 100
100
right
right click damage. Techies as well, by the way. 100 right click damage.
Yeah, pretty sick. Yeah, Bane actually getting 4.5 damage per level. Could this mean? Could this mean we could get back to the right click Bane? Probably not. That might be history. 3-man root coming out. Mind's placed down on the ground, doing a. Well, I mean, it's not really doing anything to them really because they have a pipe. They will find Jubei. They will get B-God.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Sadman at least teleports out.
Yeah, a ton of utility being brought by the Underlord now. With the pipe, with the Vanguard Atos was already just for him. After that, you can go, pipe and Greaves as well. I feel like all of these items, anything that you buy, is good and strong for you versus the PA.
And of course, like against this techie, is until he hits level 12, pipe soaks up the same amount of damage as one proximity mine would deal.
Dragonite.
That's a good catch.
Oh,
There,
he didn't.
stun available. Okay.
He didn't count on the impale. Like he didn't count his stuns. Usually you start TPing once you know that all the stuns have been used. But this time around, impale was still around.
Yeah, desperation mode.
Pretty
Might
much.
be another one here. They've seen Bane and they will walk into Jubei in for a bit of an ill surprise.
So all vessel stacks for Ember.
Even more. I almost has the halberd versus PA, which is going to be very handy. Just like last game.
Yep. DP for some reason approaches PL, goes on him. She's gonna get punished here. It feels like. Maybe not. Let's see.
I mean, the stun still comes through. Mind Flare doesn't do a lot of damage from 9, but it's not required. They will get the kill anyway. B got to drop in Scourge McDuck with his BKB. He's surrounded by several hostiles. Able to blink on top of the BK, get to safety. Making it a 2-for-1 trade. Offlane and support for a gyrocopter.
It's a very early BKB. He gets that instead of the Dezo. Maybe it's the good play. I'm not sure because at least with the early BKB you can start fighting a bit earlier, but then you don't have enough damage to take anyone down. Besides the gyro.
I guess it's because of the Ember.
Oh, Scourge
and the
McDuck.
Underlord
No. He tried to go for the Tormentor, by the way. On his own.
Yeah, that's a bit of a risk. Maybe if you bring a bunch of people, maybe then you're able to do it.
The power of friendship.
Power of friendship indeed. That rewards techies with a shard, who had nothing to do with this Tormentor kill. He's the one to get it. Well, you can use a reactive taser now on your allies. So if the PA jumps in,
You can use it on her.
get a
Yeah,
disarm
yeah.
on PL, yeah.
Radiant are scared.
Yeah, Ducho also opting not to go for Greaves instead. Crimson Guard. I mean, he already had a Vanguard. And Crimson is pretty good versus PA. Versus DP. So a lot of damage mitigation now coming from him.
Dire's bottom tower
Is the taser disarm dispellable? It is dispellable, right. So yeah, so you can just use Doppelganger and you're no longer disarmed.
BKB mid lane.
Yeah, it's your 8-second BKB by Scourge McDuck. They're really playing the map hard on Sand King Gomez.
They see Dragonite as well, but he's also popping Dragon Form and running away. So they're playing them, like you just mentioned. They're making them use BKBs, they're making them use their big spells. Meanwhile, they're not really committing hard.
Dutcho doesn't give a damn about a minefield. Walk straight through it.
Dire's bottom tower
DP and Bane.
So they are TPing. Oh, nice Fiend Script. That's a good target. Lund's going to be the one controlled. Stun comes out as well. And that Ember is about to drop. Lund still buying some time. And Remnant jumps away at 35 HP. Are you kidding me? The cut, they used everything for a big core kill. And they can't get it. They can't get it. Scourge McDuck, he doesn't have a BKB available, but will take down Yanbora. But that's going to be Jubei down. DP going to get stunned up. Exorcism might just run its course. And there comes Lund back at full HP. Returning to the battle.
wants
He
PA.
got to drop as well, and he really wants Scourge McDuck indeed. They take the Protector's Gate to run back to safety, and there's only 2 heroes surviving that fight on the side of the
I
cut.
love how Ducho pinged it out. He's like, what the hell is this shit? Like, I can't move through this. Why do you think Why do you think they made it this way?
Dire's structures
Like these obstructions. DK jumps in, stun.
Guess they want to let the defenders have a chance of holding 2-man stun. Beautiful impale from 9. And even wrapping to the side to get this DK kill. And Phantom Assassin again. That's another, just a BKB to try to disengage. Only got a couple hits in. The tower's already down. Shido's already pushing high ground with this PL. Jubei in a lot of trouble. And Underlord just... Look at the positioning of Dutcho. And he's still going to get away with it. God, the madman Fiend skated in front of a bloody fountain.
I think he's having way too much fun this game.
Too much fun. Yeah, somebody take the fun away from this guy. This is
it's not allowed.
disrespectful.
Yeah, it's not allowed to have this much fun.
Oh.
5-0-11 on the Underlord. DP, not as much fun.
Yeah, DP is not enjoying this game at all. This is not what Sadman signed up for.
They just reached this part of the game where Shido has a heart, and it's like
Yeah, it's critical mass.
exactly, pretty much just critical mass item build. You re-engage so many times, you heal up. Like they can't really, if they can't kill you from one go, they aren't winning any fights, and they can't kill him from one go.
It's like you can find a pick off on a Nyx assassin support, but that's about it.
Yeah, they kill. It's like PA kills the gyro or a Nyx in these fights, and that's it.
Yeah.
And she's caught now.
Now they're gonna go into Scourge McDuck again, and that's your last. That's now the 6-second BKB. And looks like the final defense as well. Bane's going to be buying back. Fiend's Grip is available. Can they get a connection on a good hero, though? Sandman coming in with the Exorcism on the back. They will take down Yanabura. Scourge McDuck being controlled by Dutcho on the back line, while the fight's going in front of their fountain once again, trying to get the blast-off stun onto Lund. Not going to be successful with it. And Scourge McDuck, he's still trying to fight all the way through, but he has run out of firepower, and he is dead as well. PL Illusions inside the fountain, and Sankin Gomez, they will take this melee Rax down and secure a lane of Rax for themselves.
Yeah, Underlord.
Underlord still bullying with the techies too.
Ember is coming back. He used the Fiend's Gate to go back to the fountain, region up, and he's back to dive the fountain once again.
Uh-oh. Yeah, okay, bit of a FPS drop. It's a very unfortunate timing for a pause. Okay, can you salvage something during this pause with a no Exorcism DP and a no Fiend's Grip Bane?
I think you know the answer to that already, right?
That's a no.
Yeah, that's a big damn no. It's really hard.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Like even the Bane and the techies, these illusions are just destroying them. Especially the Bane. The techies, at least he's got something to fight with. He's got his AOE. He can blast off away. Bane, once they go on him, he's just a sitting duck. There's not a lot that he can do. And that fight, bottom, like next to the tier 2, next to where the dragons are right now, when they didn't kill the Ember, oh my god, I just sealed the deal.
Yeah, this is pretty much over for the cut. You're not gonna get to fight back, at least for a very long time. Maybe the DK can get a bit of extra punches in, but they really need the PA for that quick burst to hope that they could kill maybe one of the cores. But they're very tanky boys. Shido also having a heart already, 3100 HP PL, and of course Lund. Dutcho. They've got all the control with the rods, the halberds.
I think even if he disconnects right now and he doesn't come back, they can still end the game, right? I mean,
Yep.
someone is going to have to micro, but you can still end it. The heart on him.
All right, you see Nine's neutral item, the Gossamer Cape. Give me a school grade for it. 0 to 10.
Wait. It's the one that you miss the first hit on, right? Yeah.
Yes.
You get 20 movement speed. Like, a passive Sixth Sense is on a 5-second cooldown. Like, this can be really strong versus some heroes. Like, Gossamer's Cape, let's say, versus Bounty Hunter.
Wraith King, Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, like something that stuns you from invis. Ursa as well, that jumps on top of you, doesn't hit that first hit bash, you can jump out. Like, no, it's really good. Like, it's good versus... it doesn't... When I saw it first, I'm like, what the hell is this? It sounds...
Yeah. You can dodge a Mel Strike from TA, which is usually like 50% of her HP pool. So when you think about it, against particular carry heroes, it's not bad.
Yeah, if you have a Blink Dagger, and the only way for them to break it is by right-clicking, you get that one extra, like half a second to blink out. Yeah, it's pretty solid, I would say.
This is some good theory crafting, Wizard. I really like that.
It's not theory crafting. I experienced it. It annoyed the hell out of me.
Experience crafting.
Yeah. It really annoyed me in a couple of games. Like,
Master and the Apprentice.
yeah, I could have chosen the item a couple of times, and I opted not to because everything else looked better for me. And then I played against it, and I was like, yeah, this item, I need to pick it up from time to time.
All the cut, they're going to have to pick themselves up after this loss that is impending right now. Dota Plus is giving them a 3% chance to win.
it's the PA percentage, you know.
It's the PA.
It would be 0, but with the PA.
Percentage.
Ember.
Oh, well, there's one. You've got Lund taken down with a big streak. He will buy back straight back into the fight, though. But Scourge McDuck, no BKB, no DK remaining after this battle. Rojo slowly falling, slowly dropping. Rocket's going to finish him off. And as they've lost Scourge McDuck, they're going to lose B-God as well. Shido on a godlike spree. You might have killed the Ember, but there's 2 big cores still running rampant inside your base. They're just destroying them one by one. Can we get an ultra kill? Can we get a rampage for the gyrocopter? Are they saving it for him? Can we get a gyrocopter? Yes! The support, the +5 rampage to clean out Division 2. Oh, Senkin Gomez, they've got it all.
Yeah, we've seen the position 5 rampage on Alpha and now also on Senkin Gomez. So they're literally the same, right? That's what it is. They made sure, like look at that smile. They made sure he gets a treat this game. It's always fun to get a rampage on a support. He deserved it this game. Like, nice performance by Jaro, nice performance overall by everyone on that team. Senkin Gomez just proving
they're number 1.
Yeah, they literally came here and they prove a point, right? To prove a point that they're number 1 and that they are the team to look out for in the next season of Division 1.
Yeah, clean series. This is one of the ones where I can really say clean because Senkin Gomez, consistent enough to beat the other teams, but consistent also that they're so much stronger than anybody else. They did not face too much opposition during the course of this tournament. Alpha did make them look a bit silly in that 2-0 series that Alpha took against Senkin Gomez, but outside of that, it's been just this team looks great. Like they're Division 1 ready.
They truly are. I completely agree. It's Alpha in the last series, they didn't look that great, right? Like they didn't maybe adapt to the new patch, but it looks like Senkin Gomez, they already know what's up. A little bit of Nyx Assassin, even though he's using Mind Flare before anything else, you know. And Underlord, even though he's trying to go through that gate that's impassable. Still though, picking the PL, understanding that he's probably the best carry at the moment. I feel like TA and PL are the most contested ones. And Muerta looks just completely busted.
Yeah, definitely is. Like, I'm just excited to see what this team is bringing up because the fact is, as Senkin Gomez, they don't have to play a tiebreaker now for first and second place because they take first place. Right after the major, we're going to be seeing them in Division 1. Literally in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be seeing this team already, well, a bit over 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks. We're going to be seeing this team in full action, playing up against the top teams of North America. So a fine addition. Nine has already been there as a player, but now it looks like he also has a pretty solid team around him that's willing to perform. And holy damn, Jar did get a rampage, but man, that is 14 kills, 16 assists in a fairly short game. Just some crazy stats for your boss 5 support. It's like, is this the carry of the team?
Yeah, it's actually insane. Like, I didn't even every fight more or less that I saw, that I was watching, Gyro is just kind of off hunting someone on his own. You know,
he's chilling in the fights.
He had his own game. Everyone else is kind of fighting their own, killing a DP, going on PA, whatever, and he's just in the back hunting down the Bane, playing with techies.
Let's just roll the MVP for Yenbora. I mean, this guy's deserved it. The heavy lifting in this game, too, definitely deserves to take that position. And look at the items he also got it with. It's a Boots of Bearing, Ghost Scepter, Magic Wand, Gyrocopter, who gets all 5 of them. Oh.
Yeah, he probably had a lot more gold at the end of the game as well that he didn't use, right? Because he was getting too busy getting that rampage.
Yeah, he's literally like super focused on getting it. Easy carry players with heavy high right click damage, they're just like, vibing. They know they're going to get the kill. They know they're going to do at least a specific percentage amount of damage. This guy is working for every 0.001% of damage that he's going to be dealing with his right clicks and with his rocket barrages. So MVP for Yenbora and Senkin Gomez into a victory. One quick remark, though, before we dive into hopefully a very cheerful winner interview, the cut. They are going to be playing tiebreakers. Like the fact that they don't get to play for third or fourth place or fifth place, well, third or fourth, they can't do it anymore. They're facing a relegation tiebreaker with two other teams. Losing the series probably hurts your morale a lot, and you got to be ready to kick your, you got to be ready tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow they're playing versus Oversight, right?
Oversight and Tilted Boys.
And Tilted Boys. Okay, so it's going to be like a three-way best-of-one tie, I suppose, right?
Yeah, round robin.
Yeah, cool. Like, looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. But
it's going to be fun. But yeah, mental-wise, you got to be prepared. You only got hours.
Yeah, and it's a problem for them that they played with the stand-in today. It didn't look that great. I really feel that they did look stronger with Italiano Gangstar. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Did they decide to switch players at the end of the season or not? But, he played with them throughout the season, the whole season. So maybe he can help them out to stay in Division 2 as well.
Well, let's dive into our winner interview as well from the side of Sand King Gomez, the #1 team from the North American 2nd Division. These guys, they worked hard for it. They got the victory. And of course, we've got Lund on the line. Lund, I wanted to start off with congratulating you guys. You are the top team of the division. And one thing me and Lizard both were super happy to see Sand King Gomez with the Sand King pick in game #1. That Ags on that hero is pretty busted.
Yeah, it actually was. We never picked Sand King before in officials, I think. So we were having some chuckles here and there because of the pick. And we also thought it was a really strong pick this patch. The Aghanim's definitely is very strong. So yeah, finally Sand King Gomez becomes a thing.
How did you guys feel playing this series? Because not only just this series, throughout this entire tour, you guys look so much better than the other teams. How do you see it from your perspective? What things really clicked from the beginning with this team?
I think what really helped is me and Nine have known each other for a while. We've played a lot together. Also, Docho and Shido also have chemistry together. They played on a few teams. And I think Yambura also adapted really quick to our style of gameplay. So I think that was very good. And to answer the other question, it's like, we honestly expected to go 7-0, but the patch kind of caught us off guard. I had college and I couldn't really read the patch. I think we didn't even read the patch completely at all. Some players didn't even have a glimpse of it, so it kind of reflected into our gameplay. But I think playing POVs now, we kind of have adapted to the meta a little bit. I don't think this patch is figured out yet, but I think we're getting better each day. So I hope we can continue to improve. Personally, I'm not a fan of the patch, but it is what it is.
Oh, why is that? Is there too much stuff going on?
Yeah, I think it's kind of complicated, and maybe I'll like it more when we figure it out more. But I don't really like all these new forced objectives. Kind of reminds me a little bit of League of Legends with the dragons and the heralds and stuff. But I think it's really interesting for sure, and it was a much needed change, I think.
Very, very interesting take, because the winter interviews we've had so far, everyone's been saying they love the patch. It's different because we've been playing the same Dota for who knows how many months now. So that's an actually pretty interesting take, that it's not for everyone. Lizard, not everyone shares the same mindset, apparently.
And that's fine. Like, not everyone should share the same mindset, but congrats on the win. Once again, congrats on getting to Div 1.
Thank you.
We already knew you were getting there, but yeah, I won't ask you anything about Oda. Like, what are you going to do after this glorious victory? Are you going to celebrate it somehow, or is it just chill, play some pubs?
I think because it's Wednesday, I can't really go out with friends or stuff. So I think we're going to talk in Discord a bit to see what we could improve. Then we're just gonna chill and maybe play some pubs. Not sure, but I'm probably getting some beers for sure.
Nice, nice. Maybe a hint of tequila?
No, that's way. I don't really like tequila at all.
All right.
It's just
I
an
love it,
efficient
though.
way of getting wasted, but not really my thing.
Yeah, T Panda is a big fan, you know, that's why he's putting that on you. Just a couple of beers, chill with the boys in Discord. I can see that, being really nice for you. What do you think are your chances coming in Division 1 next season? Like, you guys are improving like day after day. I don't think that you should be only aiming to remain in Division 1.
I don't think we can make the majors yet, or even TI. But we're getting a new coach and analyst for the next season, so hopefully that will help us a lot. I think we have really great chances at staying there, but not sure if we're quite ready for TSM and Shopify yet.
Soon, though. They don't understand the power of Lund. It's gonna happen. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
They will have to ban the Ember for sure.
Yeah.
All right, now that you are going to be on a bit of a break, not too long of a break, though, because I think one of the best things about jumping straight from Division 2 to Division 1 is you only have about 2.5 weeks until you're going to be playing again. And, of course, the Major is going to be starting later on today. What team are you looking forward to the most? Are you rooting for the NA boys or the SA boys? Is there a particular team that you want to see thrive in this new patch at the next Major?
I'm not sure. I really want to see how the Chinese teams do this major. I've always been a fan of Chinese Dota, but I also really like Shopify Rebellion, so hopefully this one's the big one for them. So not sure. I really want to see Extreme Gaming. I'm a big paparazzi fan.
Oh, all right. I mean, you're going to get to play against Shopify Rebellion in just a matter of weeks because you're going to be in the same division with the guys. And once again, congratulations, Sant King Gomez, Sant King cometh. You guys are going to Division 1. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
And there we heard it from the mid player Lund, who had some stellar performances throughout this division. Very laid back, but as he said, not everyone is a huge enjoyer of this patch, and kind of refreshing to hear not everybody is saying the same thing, because he did place it pretty well. There's a lot of stuff happening around the map, and maybe it is just a bit too much to learn, especially in the competitive environment where you're kind of forced to always put 110% of your performance into the game and look for a win every single time. That can be stressful.
Yeah, it can be. For me, the biggest thing that this patch did is it alleviated that stress, because everyone is still just having fun. You know, it's a new patch. Just take a chill pill. It's fine. But you know what? These teams are stressed because there's a lot of tiebreakers, right?
Yep. We have plenty of tiebreakers on the board, and as we mentioned earlier on, we had a potential for 3. We only have 2, and the standings are as follows. Sant King Gomez and Alpha will be 1 and 2. The tiebreakers are between 3 and 4, and 5, 6, and 7. And of course, you know, one team is going to be leaving this division. The others are just going to end up with more prize pool money in their hands. So I think what is good to look at is the schedule for tomorrow, ladies and gents. If you're looking at the major, do not miss out on the DPC, because we have the tiebreakers played out tomorrow. We start off with the best of 3 series with C-Dub and Ant to decide 3rd and 4th place. There's a lot of money on the line. You get 15K for 3rd place, 11K for 4th place. And then after that, we start rolling, which can also be an infinite tiebreaker with 3 teams playing round robin. Starts off right after that with Cut and Oversight taking off the first game. And then I believe it is usually the winner who goes up against the team waiting. So the Tilted Boys will match up against the winner versus Cut and Oversight. So that is coming up tomorrow and filled with Dota action. So we'll see if that's going to be an infinite round, or is it just going to be straight up declared at the start. of that first round of best of ones. So that's what we have for tomorrow, Lizard. A plenty amount of Dota to decide who gets how much money and who gets kicked out of Division 2, because that also is going to happen to one team.
Yeah, one of these teams is on a really downward spiral. That's Tilted Boys. I hope that they, refresh, reset, bring their A game, because they're going to need it. Everyone is hungry to stay in Division 2.
That's the place to be, especially. But hey, ladies and gents, we're at the very last marks of this Division 2. We've played out the main games, and tomorrow is the tiebreaker day. One thing you could do is head over to esportsbet.io, create an account, log in, and use that time tomorrow with that fresh account to watch some Dota games, watch to earn some 3,000 free tokens per hour. And those can be used for something that you might, whatever you want to use it for. There's probably something more regarding that with those banners under the stream link, and also at esportsbet.io. More information about that, the Watch to Earn platform. That's the place to be potentially tomorrow. I mean, as we head over to the tiebreakers, the storylines, they are set. We are ready for it. Are you ready for it, Lizard?
I'm very ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
And we
Do it
hope to
right
see
now.
people
Do
there
it right now.
as well. Let's start it off. Thank you, people, for tuning in today. And of course, we will see you tomorrow for some more DPC. Until then, take care of yourselves, everybody. Good nights, and bye-bye.
Watch more. Earn more. Full TV.